person would say, you live a sedentary lifestyle. So maybe if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, we should go from doing nothing to doing maybe 5,000 steps a day, 6,000 steps a day. But no, I thought it was a great idea to go big or go home. Welcome, Mike Raid. Welcome, Goon VC Raid. So this is kicking my butt. Very badly. I'm not built for exercise. I would like a refund. Let's see. All right, we're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. Let's go. Let's go. Make you feel good and be more enjoyable to be flexible. Well, I have that go up challenge that I'm doing, that I created myself and I subjected myself to. So that's what we're doing. I'm giving it an honest effort. Giving it an honest effort. Adjust it? No. Because then here's the thing, if I adjust it, can you still join? Of course. You guys can start the challenge whenever. You're never too late. Because it's not like cumulative. So like each week is essentially the same things. So you can start at any point. I don't want that to be an excuse, y'all. It's like when we think that we can't start some kind of journey until New Year's. No, you can start right now. You don't have to wait till New Year's. You can start right now. I feel like a lot of times that's something that we tell ourselves so that we don't have to start stuff. Ask me how I know. You live in Miami, where woke go to die. You love conservatives, friend. I'm gonna take. I I don't just live in Miami, friend. I was born and raised here. Destiny is up there. Born and raised here. And no, I don't love conservatives. I fucking hate them. I still need to get a picture of Anne, but I was too tired to add more people today to the background. But and Anne definitely sucks. I don't know much about her or her politics or anything like that, other than like the Marcellus Williams thing, which um was enough for me. Mhm. Mm-mm. Stop misgendering. And how would I know what their pronouns are when I don't know them? I don't participate in their space. Thank you for letting me know. Um, they have them in their bio. Do your effort. No, I will not. I will not. Yeah, I will not. Um, listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hold your hands. I'm gonna hold your hands when I say this. Um, some of y'all, some of y'all, Gen Zers, y'all need to fucking get a grip and touch grass. Straight up. Because if you guys think that like the world is gonna like search up and down and high and low for who you are as a person, what your pronouns are, like what you identify as, what your favorite color is, like y'all need to fucking get a fucking grip. And that's coming from like people that actually had to deal with hard stuff on the internet. We literally had to give stuff like we had to deal with the unmoderated internet. So yeah, no, I'm not going to go to every single person's profile that I ever potentially have an opinion on to find out what their pronouns are. If you correct me, I will happily change that. That's that's about it. Reina, I debate topics pretty much every fucking day. Um, I don't know, and I have more clout than most of these people here. Um, but yeah, you're welcome to come up. And this is also a debate topic. Those aren't left, those are liberals. That's why left is in parentheses. Oh, you know who I need to add? That Mojo person. Hmm. Hmm. You aren't left either? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. It's almost as if my backup account, my YouTube, and my Twitch are username not a real leftist because of losers like you. Give a fuck if you think I'm a leftist or not. I really don't care. I don't care. Um, again, millennial, been through shit online. Yeah, y'all have it easy. Y'all have it fucking easy. I hate to say it. I love my Gen Z. I love my uh touch touch and grass Gen Z, my down to earth Gen Z. Uh, I do love y'all. Gen Alpha, love y'all. But some of y'all don't have friends in real life. Mhm. And some of y'all have never had to say some of the stuff you say online in real life. Because I think if you guys had to tell people stuff in real life, you wouldn't say a lot of this stuff. Because things are different in real life. You get bopped in real life. Thank you, I'm Pixie. I think it's just like a, I don't know, probably some like CK top from Ross or something. I don't know. It's one of my few work appropriate tops since I had to be on camera. Cloud sharks that feast on drama like this are the lowest form of content creators. It's great that I don't give a fuck because even if I'm the lowest form of content creator, I've been creating content online for 10 years, friend. So I have more longevity than most of these people, except maybe a few gremlins. But yeah, it's actually like a pale orange. I was thinking about how Marina said the colors would work well. Uh, they just asked me, what did I just click into? Who are these angry randos? Um, Losers. They're just losers online. These are probably burner accounts for these people up here. Need to add a picture of Anne. I will. I will. I just got to get a picture. I haven't updated this since the last time I ran this. I've had a crazy week at work. I had 3 hours of back-to-back on-camera meetings, but right before this. So I am drowned. Why is Hassan up there? He's a huge misogynist. Huge misogynist. Downplayed the Harry thing. Feels like we need to cater more towards men. Hi, Talia. Ba-ba-bum. Should make a burn book. My life is a burn book. And did tell Jane they had a few burners. Mm. Well, she's technically not up there yet, but she can get fucked because the Marcellus thing. Why are we trying to alienate so many people on the left? No wonder we don't win elections. No, we don't win elections because we try to cater to racists. Instead of explaining why it's better to not be racist. Aaron Parnas is up there because he's a Zionist. I always give the caveat that if you are a Zionist, that obviously that's not a deal breaker for you. I know a lot of people watch him for his news content. I'm not saying anyone needs to unfollow or block him. It's just a hard line for me as far as Zionist. Um, but if you do want to continue watching him, my recommendation is be mindful when he's reporting on the Middle East because he obviously has a bias there. I know people like how he presents the information, but just keep that in mind. But it's not a hard line for everybody. So again, these are my opinions. I don't know why everyone takes it so seriously. And also, this is an open forum, y'all. So it doesn't have to just be ops today. If you want to talk about any of these people
Why don't
or
you got
whatever,
Jones up there?
because Jones is black, and I, as a white person, am not going to put a black man behind me.
He's barely black.
Um, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
You guys are basically the same skin tone.
No,
Yeah.
no, and it
You
doesn't. It literally doesn't matter what you think our comparison of skin tone is.
guys are still protecting him? Golly.
No, but I have the decency to not want to speak on how black he is. That's a fucking weird thing for you to bring up.
So his blackness saved him from being talked about, pretty much.
No, because he's been talked about plenty. I'm just not going to put a picture of his face behind me because that's inappropriate.
Because you know better.
Yeah, because I know better.
Yeah, no rather have that ass.
I'm just glad you got Brizaza up there because she's been making a bunch of fake Blackfish accounts and following me around, harassing me.
Like which one? Hi,
Brizaza, the
Erica.
girl you have at the
No,
bottom
no,
left
no.
there.
What are the names of the accounts?
One is called like Mama She made like 20 plus accounts because I called her out on a live that she was doing, and then all of a sudden all these accounts started coming in my lives, and she spams like, "You're being racist," and then she kept making fake accounts like every 5 minutes
Holy
and
shit.
follow me.
Yeah,
I made
she's
a whole video
bananas.
about it.
She's
If you
absolutely
can't
bananas.
verify
I
that,
commented on one of her lives and she
that's
went
rude.
off on me and started saying all kinds of crazy shit that she said I went to jail for stalking.
Yeah, she's
And
been stalking me for like about 2 weeks now. She just like comes in my lives with all these fake accounts, and I literally took the profile picture she was using of a black woman, and I put it into Google reverse image search, and it was like a famous black author. So she's literally using images of like random black women online to basically justify her racism, and she comes in and defends on like these fake accounts of black
That's
women.
crazy.
You want your D, bro?
Dude, she's
How
quite
you
the
doing today,
character.
Erica?
I was just curious why Tyrese isn't going on making his own lives, calling out Jones.
Why, do you want to talk about Jones too or something?
No, it seems like you really want to talk about Jones. So I was wondering why you don't, make your own live, like, and talk about Jones.
We haven't talked about him. Like, it was already. You're still on that? Like, we moved
She was
on.
being polite and waiting for her to be like introduced rather than jumping into the conversation. But if you notice, she joined around the time that you were talking about it. So
Oh, I got you. Yeah, we're over that, Erica. Don't worry.
I also wanted to know why you're colorist.
yeah.
You said what?
Made you colorist? Like, what happened in your life that made you think that it was okay to try to say how black somebody is?
He's literally light skinned.
Black.
Okay, Erica, it's okay. Like I said, we're over it.
And I'm sorry, but you don't get to dictate when I'm over something, and I'm not over it.
Are you gonna cry?
Does it sound like I'm gonna cry?
Kinda.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, this world's pretty rough, so you might want to tighten up over a little comment that I made.
Fine. I just want to know why you're obsessed with Jones, one, and two, why you're
You're the
colorist.
one still talking about him. Like, I've told you like 4 times now. We're over it.
Okay.
No. I would love to hear those answers too, honestly.
Well, you said you're not black, so you don't want to talk about him. So this
No,
is your panel.
I said I won't put him up on my background. But being that
So you do want to talk about
someone
him?
that's black is asking you the question, I would love for you to answer.
Yeah, for sure. Then okay. Do you guys feel like you did a good job holding him accountable, or no? Being that he is on the left, right, same side as you.
No, he's not on the left.
He was 100. What?
Just because somebody claims that they're on the left, that doesn't mean that they're on the left.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
so,
Okay. Yep, I hear you.
yeah, I could claim to be a good person, but I could display reasons for someone to not think that I'm a good person. Like, just because I claim to be something, that doesn't mean that I actually am. So
So if he literally says like if he represents everything that the left represents, you get to say, nah, he doesn't.
because his values and what he's representing isn't actually what a lot of leftists are representing. So yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So I'm with
He,
Erica.
he was left. I don't know what you're
I'm with
smoking,
Erica
but
too.
he was
I'm
100%
bothered
left.
too. I'm bothered by what you said. I don't understand why you think light skinned people can't also be black.
All his panels were against Trump and the right. How was he not left?
You
Why
know
are you still
that?
talking? Why are you still talking about that? We're over that. We're over whether or not he's left. Let's go back to the conversation that you guys were having.
Oh, why are you still on that? I thought we were over it. I thought we were talking about right or
No,
left.
no, no, no.
Oh, we can play this game.
So
See
I
how, see how corny you guys are?
You're the corny one.
Hey, but you brought it up. You came up here starting with the cornball behavior.
Right, and you guys tagged along right with it, didn't you?
What? Are you sentient?
What?
Are
You
you
came up here wanting to talk about it too if it was so corny.
Are you sentient?
Tyrese, is everything okay at home?
Like, we don't care to talk about Jones, but we are going to correct you when it comes to anti-blackness, regardless if we don't like Jones or not. That still doesn't justify you being anti-black, because you being anti-black does not only affect Jones, but it affects every single black person.
Yeah, you guys do what you got to do to protect your boy.
What? Okay.
I can't believe you guys, even with a slither like of anything, are protecting him.
As it doesn't matter what he did,
Whoa,
Racism
it
is
doesn't
not
matter.
acceptable for anyone, no matter how wrong you think they are, no matter how bad they've done people. Like, that still doesn't mean that you can come up here and be colorist and racist towards anybody.
I said he's barely black because of how light skinned he is.
And that's anti-black, and that's erasure of black people, because you can be light skinned and black. That's
Okay.
harmful. We don't have to like Jones to address the harmful behavior that you are spewing.
Like, there's plenty of stuff that you can criticize him for without having to add that in. Like, he did a lot of shitty
Yeah,
things.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, you're making it all about like his skin color, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I hear
That's
you
like
guys.
the first thing you brought up. That's the issue I think that they're having.
No, I hear you. All right, I apologize, guys. So,
Oh, but everyone was asking for what the account's name. It's called like Miss Chocolate, Ria's version, and then she made a
Oh,
bunch of different
I don't
accounts.
think that's her. I know who that is.
It's got like 20 followers though, and then it like
I
they
know who
kept
I
making
know I
new
know who
accounts
that
over and
is.
over and over and over.
That's not Brizaza.
Yeah, well, this person has made like 20 plus accounts following me around over
Well,
and over and over.
um, it seems as you've pissed off the same person that's pissed off at me. That is someone that goes by Lucho on this app. He has like hundreds of accounts. Um,
Oh, well, that account
oh,
literally after Brizaza got exposed, it came right into a live by a guy named Irish and kept saying, Bree is not racist, Bree, and it was like advocating for Bree super heavy.
yeah,
bro,
because he's one of her mods.
are you talking about the girl with the purple hair
This
in the
girl.
back? No, no, no. Oh, okay. I thought you want the one right in the middle, right above you. Ugh,
What about
that's a
her?
big. That's a big. Ugh, ugh.
So it's one of her mods that's doing that.
Yeah.
You said? Okay,
But
well, yeah, they
she
fall.
thinks that the person that she made a mod is the real Miss Chocolate, who's a real person on this app. But this Lucho person has made fake accounts on that person, has made an account pretending to be Jaden, has made accounts pretending to be a lot of people.
Yeah, there's like 20 plus accounts that I've had to block now that just keep coming into my lives and like harassing the shit out of me. And it happened right after I talked to Bree in one of her lives. So yeah,
Wow. Hey,
To be 100% like fair, I don't think that she spends enough hours sober to be able to make that many accounts and remember the logins for them. Like just
that's fair.
dead ass, she's probably asleep right now.
hey, what's your deal with purple hair?
Oh, she's done a bunch of like fucked up shit, like for example, using a dead kitten to sell a pillow on TikTok,
What?
among other things.
Ugh. Yeah, she's a. Ugh. Like that's my literal like thought when I see her. Ugh. I I would love to put in. Would you box her for me?
No,
Why?
I'm not trying to break a nail. Hold on. Hi Lee. I'm looking for Michelle's response. Where are you, Michelle? Oh, you never responded.
Even though Z's racist, she did put up like a pretty cool event though. She tried to anyways.
Wait, somebody said you having Bree up there is bullying somebody who has issues. What what issues could she possibly have to do with her being a racist? Like, I'm sorry, like what is her like obviously we can acknowledge that she has some, like, she might have some substance issues, but what does that have to do with her being racist? Like, I'm so lost.
That's
Like,
yeah, like her having substance issues is not an excuse or avoiding accountability.
He still constantly is on lives, just spewing nonsense, intoxicated, like every single day. It seems so.
Mm-hmm. But Tyrese, any last words?
Oh yeah. Why?
Michelle used her tariff kick.
W. She's not dangerous. She's nobody. What? I think being a raging racist, is dangerous. Like, it is dangerous. Are we okay today?
And yeah, apparently not. And she is very dangerous actually, because she catfished this app. I'd say that's dangerous enough. I always forget to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And also, when I was in her live, she started telling the entire room that I was put in jail for stalking. I've never even been pulled over for a speeding ticket, nothing. That is super dangerous. Spreading misinformation about people is super dangerous.
Yeah, I don't like Spidey. Are you like Bree on like another account? Because you gotta be. There's just no way that we're caping for a racist YT woman so hard. There's just no way. Why? We could be using this
Spidey,
energy.
I have mental health issues. Does that mean I get a pass? No.
About the mental health issues that could stem from the way that she performs online.
Wait, so so you're over here trying to say that we're bullying Bree, but then you say I'm too coherent to be her. Is that not a drag? Is that not a drag on her on her mental health? Like, ayo.
And this live isn't about her. She's on there, but like we're talking about a lot of different people. You definitely have to be Brie or like one of her buddies, because it's giving weird behavior.
I appreciate you for letting me know that it's like Lucio or whatever you.
Lucho.
Lucio.
He's not gonna stop for a while, unfortunately. Like he gets very obsessive over people, and he will like come up over and over. Like I have probably like 30 different accounts of his blocked.
Yeah. Does he just make the names like about you eventually and just keep coming back to your lives?
Usually the names are like, I don't know, like for a while when he was following a lot, and like I would be able to catch on to the profiles because they're all very similar, like the types of like photos he uses for profile pictures and stuff. But lately he's been creating accounts based on other creators like Jaden and stuff like that, so that people are more likely to just like let them up, thinking it's like the real Jaden, and then he'll just say like some crazy shit. You just have to block him and move on, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
And eventually he finds someone else to be obsessed with.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Do you
Because
know?
that's what I was
Do you know
doing. Just
Paige
blocking.
Rocks?
Who?
Paige Rocks on this app.
Uh-uh.
I don't know her well either, but I know that she was his obsession for a while. He's another person.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I knew that because I assumed it was her because it happened right like the account started popping up right when I confronted her in a live. Then those accounts started following me around. But if it's one of her mods, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, like he was in that account, like in that live where she was saying that I was jailed for stalking, and like he just kept every 5 minutes he would mute me. Like if I said anything, he would mute me. Like even if I was like hi, like I said hi to someone, and he would mute me. And then some of the stuff that he was saying using that account was very similar to stuff he used to say when he was on my lives. And so when someone brought it up that it was him, I was like, that makes so much sense. So yeah.
Gotcha.
He's
All right.
a
Well,
weirdo.
you guys have a good day. I appreciate you.
You too.
You guys have a good one.
Bye.
Wild you would have to be to make Lucho a mod.
Well, here's the issue is okay. The issue is like she doesn't think she's making Lucho a mod because the account that she made a mod was an account called Miss Chocolate, who's a real person on this app, a real black woman on this app that he made an account for. So she's thinking I'm making this black woman a mod. That's super like look at me, I'm anti-racist, like kind of vibes. Uh she doesn't realize it's Lucho. I think people have told her, but I don't know if she doesn't believe them or she forgets or what. I don't know.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
How are you?
Hi, Ren.
Hi.
Hello?
This work today.
It's work. Like
I'm looking for someone to trade places with me
I
on
just
this
want to be
earth.
independently wealthy. Like, yeah. I just want to be independently wealthy so I don't have to work.
We do have to start aggressively bopping the screen. No artificial tappers, please. Just use your digits. That's what they're good for. But yes, we got to start bopping the screen. If not, we're gonna have to go sub only chat because we've been live for 45 minutes and we only have 20,000 likes, and that's unacceptable.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
How is your day today?
Terrible. I had 3 hours of on-camera meetings back to back to back before this.
Yeah, I'm gonna start selling tickets for how long it takes somebody to say something. It's this ism to give me an ism when I get in on the panel because I would make an unaliving on that. Because I ain't even been here 5 whole minutes. And all I said is I want to be independently wealthy. And somebody asks me and says, ask for reparations to get wealthy. I ain't even been here 5 whole minutes.
Mm.
Well, I got called a big back, so.
Like, and this right here is why excusing racism is never going to work. It's not going to work. I don't.
The crazy part is that the people that are saying this stuff are probably people that support these people. Like, how are we supposed to be in community with y'all? Like,
Like, I don't. I, for the most part, move through these spaces giving a lot of grace. I give a lot of grace. And it's not too many times. I don't crash out, like completely crash out frequently. It happens occasionally, but I do not completely crash out frequently.
it's sparingly,
Huh?
sparingly.
Yeah. But when somebody asks the question, from a scale of 1 to 10, from calling somebody a big meanie to strange fruiting, how much how much ism is acceptable? people can come in here and say, why are you even doing this live? Why are you doing this? And the thing that y'all don't understand, do y'all not understand that real people are being harmed and hurt? Y'all don't get that. Or maybe y'all just don't look at black people as real people. Maybe that's the problem.
Mhm. You know what's interesting though? It's like people that are coming in and are saying, "Thank you for the heart me and two snacks." People that are coming in saying like, "Oh, grifter, the grift is back," blah 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 blah. How could someone grift on something that isn't a persistent issue? Maybe stop being racist. If you think I'm a grifter, then stop being racist, and I won't have anything to grift on. I'll find another way to fund the kitten shit. Like I don't know what to tell you. Y'all just want to keep being racist and homophobic and transphobic and all that stuff, and you just want everyone to not talk about it. You just want us to shut up about it. Nope.
My thing is, if somebody has an issue with another person, like if somebody has an issue with like you having this background full of like people, I'm just trying to understand why it's such a big deal. Like the way people idolize like people on this app who are quote unquote TikTok famous, like these are just regular people. These are just another person that is probably I walk past on the street. The way people idolize and put these people on pedestals as if these people can't make mistakes, and if they make mistakes, then we should be giving them chances. We should be, giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're learning. Like, I'm not going to give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to racism, transphobia, homophobia, misogyny. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. They have one time to mess up. In my eyes, if they say that they have done all the work and they've done all the unpacking, they have one time to mess up. Like, I don't understand why we are putting these people on pedestals. And if Alina wants to have a topic of this, why people are so hurt in the comments, like, oh, what did Hassan do? What did Hassan do? What did Aaron do? We're telling you, and it's still not good enough for you, which shows me that you're also part of the problem.
Yeah, I sent Mayday Amy a request, but it seems that she's too chicken in the chat to come up. She says, her Humane Society even says on their page they pay. I don't foster for the Humane Society, friend.
You're assuming things that are not in evidence.
I actually have never come across a rescue that pays people to foster. Never seen that. Now, sometimes they will provide some supplies, but some rescues will give you one container of formula and you're on your own for the rest of it. All the enclosures I have right now, I've purchased myself. The bedding, I purchased myself. The heating pads, I purchased myself. The additional bottles, because they give you one bottle and one nipple, which is crazy when you're trying to feed every 2 hours. I purchased myself. So yes, it does take a lot. Like the cat condos, the $100 cat condos, I purchased myself. Like, they don't give you any of that stuff. They'll give you one bottle and one thing of formula if you're lucky, and you get a carrier instead of a box. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Y'all, she does not foster for the Humane Society. Why do y'all get the Charleston Chew out your ears and listen, please?
Not to mention that I am on the board of a separate rescue. So I foster for the rescue I'm on the board for, and I foster for the county. So when it comes to the animals that we're fostering through our rescue, all that medical care we have to fund. When I have to drive, like I did the other day, to drop off the kitten that wasn't going to make it, when I drove 40 minutes each way, that comes out of my pocket. No one's reimbursed. Every time I drive to the county, all the tolls, the gas, all that comes out of my pocket. What do you guys think of life? I don't understand that. Aw. Thank you, G Snooks, for the cat nipple crypt. Thank you for the nip money. But I also I have pay links in my bio, yes. But for people that prefer to send physical things, I also have a foster kitten wish list. So if you don't trust me to manage the funds, you can just send the nips yourself. It's not that deep. And of course, any excess goes to the rescue's needs. We have 30 plus cats in our care right now, from neonates all the way to adults, and any excess on top of that goes to our local community. We help colony feeders, and we also, every time there's like a food donation drive or something like that we're able to latch onto, we provide like food and stuff like that for the underserved communities in our area.
What color do you have on today? Or do you have on any eyeshadow?
Nothing today. I ran out of time.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't think it's anything, but I didn't want to be
Kristen.
wrong.
Wait. Wait, he's mad. Wait, so
What's he mad about now?
he said that, so it's okay for Talea to make fun of people's looks and how much money they have in their bank account because I told him that he has boo-boo Wi-Fi when he came up here and he had 1 bar. And now he's mad.
Oh.
Guy that asked for the definition of racism.
No, the Paz Mello guy, he's mad because he has horrible Wi-Fi.
You know what I find interesting about that statement, though? You said he has boo-boo Wi-Fi. You didn't say he looked like boo-boo, so what is he talking about? You talking about his looks?
I don't know. I mean, I could say that too, but...
Yeah. I'm actually only up here for a hot minute, specifically because of Paz and one other weenie in the comments, and I was like, I'm between a meeting and a phone call, and here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Everybody who's like, can't we all just get along? Or I'm just so tired, I just don't want another fascist in office. Well, here's the thing, babies. We have been justifying and excusing and sweeping under the rug all of the isms that are proliferate on this background. The racism strongly, the misogyny, the toxicity, the predatory behavior, all of it. That is what we have been doing. And look, we still have a fascist in office. It's almost like these things feed into each other, because then everybody sat at home and didn't vote for the other person who is running for office, who at the very least would have caused so much less damage on a ridiculous level, all because of the misogyny that nobody wanted to look at, all because of the racism that nobody wanted to look at, all because of all of these things that make you uncomfortable, because historically they get you nowhere. It gets you nowhere to just overlook, oversee, and run over these communities for the sake of everyone getting along, because it turns out everybody doesn't fucking get along. It turns out sacrificing the lowest rungs on the shitty-ass hierarchy that we have built in our society doesn't accomplish shit. I know that's shocking. That's so shocking in a world where all the neo-Yazis are coming out all loud and proud. Is it? Is it word salad? Can you not keep up? Let me slow it down for you. When you excuse microaggressions, when you let go of the misogynistic behaviors and bullshit, then it leaves room for horrible, horrible people to do horrible, horrible things. And it makes our most loved and targeted community members fall by the wayside, thrown under the bus, over and over and over and over again. And it improves fuck all.
We're matching.
So good talk.
Ugh.
Hey, Parkers.
And
I thought you were coming up to talk about how much money you make fostering.
oh yeah, good God, all of the money I make fostering. Let me tell you. I got eggs. My eggs are free.
So lucrative. Yeah, why
What's
doesn't
so
Mal make any eggs?
Did you just basically say you want cat eggs? That's weird. Okay.
Hi, Erica G.
Hello?
Sorry that I came up and went straight up on my rant.
No,
You're good.
you bring up a good point. Like, the reason that we are here is because we have been excusing and ignoring all of the things that the fascist in office currently embodies. Like, do y'all not get that? If we had made being racist and misogynist and a essayer and all of those things, if we genuinely made those things unacceptable, no matter your political affiliation, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. Hey, Ryan, whatever your name is, sir, I'm not answering any of your questions. If you can't come up here and ask me the question directly, you can kiss my ass. I will teacup if I want to because I'm working.
I know. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't even see your name, so I don't know.
You know, I was asking. She said that she didn't call me ugly when you told her my look. So I don't really care. I just think it's funny that
The Wi-Fi is
we're not
still
holding
chopped.
everybody accountable over looks.
The
I'm
Wi-Fi.
not
Are you on
a black
Bluetooth?
woman, but I just find it funny that she's so open and so weak. But
The
whatever.
Wi-Fi is still so boo boo. So I can concede I did call you chopped. I just forgot that I called you chopped. But I called you chopped because you sat up here and you were in the comments for like 5 minutes basically telling us that we have no right to criticize these people in the back.
I didn't
And
say
you
I
talked
didn't
about
say you didn't have a right. I think you
It's
definitely have a right. I just said I don't think it's
was I done?
productive.
Was I done? You insinuated that we didn't have a right because you talked about how the leftists are infighting, and I simply said this is not infighting because these people are not on the left. So why would it be infighting?
Gotcha. And I was just saying, I think you guys can do whatever you want. I was just saying I don't think it's productive. I think fascism is far worse than a lot of some of these people. I mean, obviously, and I don't think all these people did the same things. I think some are worse than others. I don't think you're wrong for calling people out. My thing is, I just don't know if it's productive. I think Donald Trump is probably the worst thing that's maybe ever happened in this country. And I just feel as though this might not be productive. I mean, at least it's after the election, but I feel like we have, the midterms coming up. I just don't know if it's productive, but whatever. I mean, I just don't know because I have that opinion. I don't think it's right to just like call me ugly. I don't know. Maybe I'm ugly. I don't have a whole lot of money. I have 4 kids, but I just feel like it's weird to just like attack me as a social. I'm gonna got my social work
Pass, darling.
and look at my money based on like my
Does
opinion
my
of just thinking that
Bluetooth
this is the
sound
most
like
productive
his?
way to move on.
Okay.
Ren, I didn't realize. I thought you were saying Ren. I thought you kept saying pass.
No, his name is Paz. I mean, that would have been funny. But no, you keep saying that this is not productive, but you don't understand. And the thing that you will not connect with is the fact that the racism that we have excused, the sexism, misogyny, misogynoir, ableism, all these things that we have excused is what made it possible for Donald Trump to be where he is.
So we're clear. You said I've never experienced racism. Is that what you said?
No.
Okay, I thought you were saying the things you were like naming things I never experienced. My bad.
Darling, your Wi-Fi is trash. I'm
Ma'am,
not
it's
trying
not
to be
Wi-Fi. Hey,
insulting.
so listen. So like I was telling Talia, it's not my Wi-Fi. I'm taking my son currently to soccer, so I'm
Well,
on the
your
road.
data plan.
Okay. So can you,
Mm-mm.
once you get somewhere with either Wi-Fi or you get somewhere with a better signal, can you come back up and we have this conversation? Because it's very difficult to have it when you can't hear me.
I got you. But my last question would be just for you, not for the person that insulted my looks, but for you. If I have those different opinions, I'm open to learning. Obviously, maybe I just see it differently. I don't think I need to be called ugly and broke because just because she's angry and like flipping out.
Oh
I
my
just don't feel
god.
like it makes
Okay.
sense.
He's not going to get over
I feel
this.
like if I was to say that to her, somebody like you would have hold me
Okay.
accountable as you should. I just don't know why no one cares. But
Okay,
I
Paz, hold
digress.
on, hold on, hold on. Now let me tell you something. You chose the exact right person to say this to. You chose the right person. Because do you know how often on this damn panel right here I am called ugly, fat, all kinds of things. Every single day.
Do you see those people as good people that do that to you?
To be totally honest, I don't care either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so but my thing is she's up here trying to hold these people behind her accountable while calling people ugly and broke. I find that so ironic.
I don't like people who
That's not irony.
I don't like people who coddle the people in the back. Like you're up here.
I don't need you to coddle them. I just think it's funny. I'm not even arguing against your opinions. I'm just saying I think
But you
I don't
were,
know if it's
though.
productive.
Why are you
I never
stop?
said you were wrong about it. I
Stop.
just said I didn't think it was
Yes.
productive. And instead
You
of
I'm gonna
Yes.
mute you.
Okay. Does
Because
everybody
oh my god.
let me tell you something. Do you think that everybody thinks you're attractive? I am sure there are a lot of people that think you are ugly, just like there are people that think I'm ugly, just like there are people that think everybody is ugly. And
What's the ism for attractiveness?
I need a moment for everyone to hear that he is so upset that nobody is holding Talia accountable for calling him ugly. But he is so upset that we're trying to hold these people accountable for saying much worse shit that is very harmful to communities. And he's like, but why can't we all get along?
Because calling him ugly is the equivalent of these people using the N-word.
Because it hurt his feelings.
Can I just say though, he's low key backtracking because he was saying a lot of stuff in the comments.
Oh, I know.
He was saying a lot of crazy takes in the comments. So for him to now come up here and backtrack and say, "Oh, I understand where you guys are coming from," I just feel like no, F you. I'm sick of people coddling or trying to be like, oh, we should be moderate on this. We should see people halfway. I'm not going to see people halfway. People marginalize groups of people. So I don't care. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is leftist infighting. These people are not leftists. These people are not leftists at all.
So why is it infighting when a person who is being harmed speaks up about being harmed?
Everybody sit with that.
Because you're just supposed to just take it and shut up.
And be grateful. Lena, when I almost Aaliyah'd you because of what's his face above me. When you are done with kittens, check your links and do all the things. Also, be aware that we now have that TikTok has official donation tools pop up at the bottom again.
Yeah, because again we were talking about the PAID.
This app has no sense of humor.
So we just can't say anything like that.
It's true. Oh, hi, Chris.
So we can't talk about
Apparently not.
Like we can't talk about our occupations?
Apparently not.
Y'all, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Does anyone want to guess whether or not rescues by like provide feeding tubes?
I'll have to guess.
I know the answer, so
Ren, can you drop me for the Ago so I can go to my next phone appointment?
sure.
Thank you.
Bye, Parkers. But listen, if girly pop one in my area that will pay me to be a foster. W Robbie for sending 5 subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You know
I
what?
will gladly take on a third rescue.
You know what I find so interesting?
What?
Nobody understands how misogyny and racism played into the fact that Trump won. That Trump won.
That what?
That Trump won.
Oh, well, I mean, we talk about it all the time here, but
Like I don't understand it.
I was thinking about last night, and a little bit today. I don't know if y'all watched the
That's
panel
fantastic.
Mercedes had, but she had someone on that was like lifelong Democrat, and then they voted for Trump this time. And it's like y'all need to work on that. Y'all need to figure out why.
That
Thank
lie.
you thank you so much, Emma, for the $10 cash app. I appreciate you so much, Miss Future Doctor.
Yes, I'm so excited for her. Congratulations, Emma. Very excited.
Oh shoot! It looks like Emma, your sub runned out. Can someone send Emma a sub, please? Oh, you're in the box. Okay.
But yeah, that live was something else. I felt like it was just a clan meeting. They assembled all the racists together. And they just all had conversations about what they could do for the next, I guess, installment of the tour. So, um,
Thank you for the sub. I think somebody paid for me. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it was really like honestly like it just like sucks to see, I guess, because it just is like we it just is like we are like like I'm trying for something and putting it we are putting in so much time and work, and then these people they like like these people seem like they're like super nice or whatever, and they're like I'm super nice and stuff, and they're in the same side, but then they will still like say things or do things that like are not okay. So I feel like it just is so like like I'm tiring. I feel like, and I'm tired. I'm tired, but like I'm gonna keep on like I'm on talking and fighting, but it just is like it was such a weird thing to see them all and to see some of the comments they were saying and how they were only like only I'm kicking out like I'm okay I'm kicking out like people of color. So I just feel like I don't know, guys. It is just kind of sad, and it's kind of like I'm tiring, and I feel like I've been trying to put on like on like a on like a positive thing or thing, but it really sucks because even like on people who you thought like I'm cared I'm like I'm cared for you and cared for your like like I'm saying things, they actually don't. And I feel like this whole thing just seems like it's for like show. It seems like they saw like how huge it was and saw a place for them to make maybe like like I'm making I'm 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 who make him something. And I think just right now, just seeing all this stuff that like Trump is doing, it just is like it's tiring when these people are supposed to be on the same side and they're not, and they're okay with like sexism and like all of those things, and then you you turn on the like TV and you see how like how like horrible it is in certain like states, etc. So I just feel like the fight is so tiring. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It just was really sucky to see like all of them. Yeah, and I'm so upset.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I was surprised by any of these people just because I've been on this app for so long and I've seen these people a lot. So I wasn't surprised by honestly any of these. I was surprised more of some of my mutuals that went on the tour that aren't mutuals anymore. That was surprising. Um, that definitely was. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
whole Jones thing, that, I mean, surprising back when I started finding out about the stuff, maybe, but I'm surprised he kept it going for so long. I do want to say W Trisha for sending a sub to Emma, and W Robbie for sending a sub as well.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think it's kind of like like so if I feel like I see, so it's like kind of even like similar stuff, like similar stuff. If I see like like a white tee, see a white tee person come do something, it's kind of like I'm not really shocked, but it still is kind of like, oh my gosh, it's if it sucks. So I feel like I mean, like I'm shocked, I guess like I wasn't like on the right term. It just is kind of like always just. It's always I feel like I'm tough, I guess, to see somebody who you thought was on your side and then they're not. But I feel like I'm with them TikTok. I've seen such a shift of people, like I'm coming on here and just saying things that they want us to, like to who 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 I'm who I'm here, and they really aren't serious about it. So I know for me and stuff, like I had to, like who um, to unfollow so many and stuff because of this.
Hmm. Yeah, we actually started communicating after this, right? Like after the tour. That's how we became friendly. So some good things came out of the tour. Not a
Yeah,
lot, but
yeah. So I feel like there are some things I definitely feel like it honestly. So it is a so it isn't tiring, but I definitely feel more like like I'm positive, like I'm to myself, because I feel like like all of us here, we stayed very like like I'm like very untrue to like what we're saying online and what we are doing in our service. So I feel like that's something that we need to be excited about and be super like I'm super excited about, because I feel like if you are staying I'm true. I'm, I'm saying I'm true, stuff like I'm to yourself. It definitely is like a positive thing. So I feel like I'm seeing this and stuff. It shows how. It shows how I guess like simple it is. I guess because I feel like it's just like it's not a hard thing for you to like say something, and it's what you seriously are saying and stuff. I feel like so many like so many like like people and stuff like like come on here and just say like a whole bunch of stuff, and it's not a whole bunch of stuff, and it's not like the truth. So I feel so much more positive now and stuff like on myself. And then two, I think that um um who I've been like also like I'm speaking on here and stuff, like way more. So that's also a really like like my really positive thing too. So that's when like I'm to like I'm shout out and stuff, like all the people who are like here and in the chat, etc., who are always super like I'm kind and like super like like I'm kind and stuff, and like I'm kind and stuff, and I'm kind and stuff, and um kind and stuff, and like I'm patient. So I feel like for now and stuff, I definitely have more of a circle and stuff on here. So I feel like that, I guess, is also a positive thing as well. Even though it sucks to see them and stuff like on here and stuff and come on lives, but there is just something and stuff out of it.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that the past few months hasn't been challenging for us in our community, like, because we were so our communities were so connected with these other spaces. um I'm not gonna say that that didn't suck, but I will say that, like, I'm so content with where we are now. Like, I feel like our Discord, like, just as a group, like, we're even closer than we were before, which I couldn't have even imagined. Like, so, I mean, I tell them all the time, I'm like, I would be happy if I wouldn't care if we didn't get a single new subscriber. Like, if this was the crew, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm very content. Like, I have no interest in having a Discord of 1,000 people. I don't want that. I like a smaller Discord that I can have, you know, I want to know the people. I want to know what their lives are about. Like, I want to know that you got accepted to medical school. Like, I want to know that Ren got a new job, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. So I feel like it just shows, what you should be like, like I'm putting up your time into. And it's not for us to have, like I'm 20,000, people in here, and sending a lot of, uh, uh, sending, uh, uh, like sending and stuff, like a lot of, like in cash apps. I feel like it's more nice to have more of, I guess, like a smaller circle and stuff. And it would be cool if our circle was, like huge, but I feel like sometimes it's a better thing and stuff if you have more of a smaller circle, so that way it's, like it's more of,
It's more curated.
yeah. So I feel like, yeah, it sucks, but I just feel like, like personally and stuff, like I've been feeling more tired, and I guess kind of, like I'm sick of it. I feel like it's so hard, like I'm trying to explain these very simple things to people. So I'm starting to kind of think now that I'm starting to you think now that think of now that it's, like a purposeful thing and stuff. Like I think, like in Z and stuff and all of those, people and stuff are doing certain things and saying certain things because they know that like we'll be upset maybe. I'm not sure. But it is just like some of the stuff that like I've been seeing, it just like there's no way that like you're on our side and stuff and you're being serious and you're saying this kind of stuff. It's weird, I guess. It's weird. Like I don't know why they can't just say something online and it's what they seriously are doing and stuff like in real life. I don't know. And the whole, trying to talk to, I guess, like conservatives to see if they'll come on our side. I don't know why you want to talk to those people either and stuff. Like it just is weird. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, like if people on the right, like, or moderates or whatever, want to talk to those people, go for it. But I just think like we shouldn't be wasting our time talking to those people. Like, they're not going to listen to us.
Yeah, like we could show them, like everything, but they're not gonna see it. Like they don't care about if you show them a source, if you show them a stat, they don't care. And so that's why like I just don't get this like need and stuff that they do that on this need, I guess, to like talk with them because I wouldn't and stuff, like do it. I don't think it's gonna be a positive thing. They're not gonna hear us out. And there was one more thing and stuff I wanted to say, but I can't remember. But yeah, like I feel like they just need to go and do something that is like serious and real because the whole tour, because also too was who it's who it's who it's I'm really short and stuff, looking for a tour. So I don't even know why they're saying tour. So that's why I think it just is for people and stuff to see and stuff and to send them stuff. I don't really know, but I'm definitely not really excited for us, pick who's gonna be like our 20 or 20 or 20 or 20 I'm 28 and stuff because I feel like we're just not on the same side with things and I don't really know how that's, like, how that's, like, I'm going to, I'm going to, I'm going to, like, like, I'm going to, I'm going to, like, I'm going to, hold up, because I feel like we're just not on the same side at all, and I feel like the other side is so tight, I guess, tight, and so they're like all for the same thing and stuff. So I feel like I'm now a little bit nervous and stuff because I don't want the other side and stuff to win again because we see what they are doing now and it's scary for a lot of us. It's not fun. So I don't know. Yeah.
But it's a shame to like that trying to get these people on our side is really gonna, the only way is like, oh, if you'll just put racism on the back burner, we can talk about that later.
Yeah. And
Or
I'm like,
homophobia or transphobia or like don't be so woke and all that stuff, rather than like focusing on people that can be persuaded, people that you know, just need education on like how these things don't necessarily affect them and how it really shouldn't matter. And I think that there's a lot of people that, and Jamal talks about this all the time, about like people that just stayed home. Like there's lots of people that aren't necessarily bigots, but they just weren't inspired, or they just couldn't get off of work. Like there's so many things that we could be doing. Like how are we helping our community get to the polls? How are we helping them stay informed? Do we have, I don't even know if this is legal, but like are there mutual aid funds that can give, people can't necessarily take the day off to vote if they have bills to pay. So do we have funds for that? Are we raising funds for people to be able to take the day off if they need to because their boss won't let them leave early? Like feel like that.
Yeah,
Hi,
no,
Chris.
Dana, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Emma, were you finished speaking? Because
Yes.
I don't wanna talk over you.
Yes, I'm guessing that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to make
Thank you
sure.
so much,
So,
Emma.
I
Dr.
just
Emma.
have a couple thoughts that I wanted to talk about. I think I told you before that I rarely don't get upset or angry, right? Mercedes does just the right amount of button pushing to push me over the edge. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I jumped into the live for like about 10 minutes and I saw a lot of muting and a lot of tone policing there. And I was like, that is not okay. Mainly because I feel like she was targeting the people of color on the panel, which was obvious to see, but it just really confirms my thoughts about her that she is still closet MAGA and, a bigot. And I really think that people like her definitely don't need to be involved in any movement. And I feel like she's doing these lives to continue to stir the pot, and I don't like that.
I'm telling you guys, I'll tell you guys my theory again. I think that she's over here and she's doing these lives. She's getting called out over and over. I do think at some point she is going to leave, go back to the right, and say that she got canceled by the left, that the left didn't want her as, a gay woman, like that they didn't want her, they rejected her, blah blah blah. And then she's going to make even more money over there because the right loves a good canceled person, someone that left the
And then
left.
another thing that I did want to mention, and then I'm more than willing to drop, but I also went into Jamal's live last night because he did his first live ever, which was amazing. there was a mention about how these creators that are trying to quote unquote revitalize the tour profit off of the trauma of people of color. And I was like, that makes so much sense. Cause like, um, I feel like they pick up certain talking points to continue to stir the pot, and that's not productive. That's not helpful. That's not going to help people like Red, myself, or any marginalized group that needs help, especially in this time of uncertainty. But that's all I just wanted to say. And I, and then again, like, you know how much I appreciate this community. Like, offline, I talk about the goons like non-stop, and like, Alina, you and I haven't talked or well, haven't met personally, but you have made a significant impact in my life, and I really appreciate you as a person.
Oh no, I'm PMSing. Like, you're gonna make me cry. I cried yesterday. I can cry again today.
I promise I won't make you cry, but yeah,
But
thank you
you
for
guys
all.
make just as much of an impact in my life. I will say that. Um, I would not have gotten through the past 6 months with all the foster kittens passing away and all that without this community. Like, y'all care about these kittens as much as I do. Like, you guys hold it together for me.
Yeah, so I was thinking that too because I sent you that. I sent you and said that like I'm text how like I wasn't sure and stuff like on you yet and stuff like that, and it was because of like all of those all those people and stuff up there. So I feel like I trust people not as much anymore, especially here and stuff on like I'm here on TikTok, and the way that you kind of like like took that, and we're still just so like so like I'm so I'm so I'm kind and then stuff. It was very nice, and I feel like it's really it's really nice, I guess, for someone to make sure that there is a safe spot and stuff. Like a safe spot and stuff. Like a safe spot and stuff. Like for you. So I feel like on this circle, it has been just super nice, and it has made me more like like I'm much more like like I'm confident, etc. So yes, I'll second that. It is such a positive like space and stuff. Yeah. Yes, I love everybody who is
Okay, this cannot turn into an Alina Glaze, y'all. Like, we gotta talk about something else. I can't handle compliments.
Yes,
I'll just say you guys are complimenting the goons,
yes,
the community.
yes, because it's kind of like the whole entire like circle. It's a so I feel like it's like it's not just a singular person. I feel like we are all I'm just super I'm super I'm super I'm 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 super cool here.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 3 years, but I finally got a bike.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My insurance finally paid for it.
That's what's up.
So,
Love that.
all right, I'm gonna drop. I love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Josh was crashing out in the chat. I don't know what's going on with him.
Does it? I mean, if he doesn't want to tell us, then should we care? I mean, if he wants to tell us, then we can care. But
He's just arguing in the chat and he's done a request. I don't understand why. Can you explain the title, please? Yes. Open forum. Open forum means anyone can come and chat. Dangerous people on the left. And then pictures. So the dangerous people would be the people in the pictures. The left is in quotations, which means, are they left? Probably not. But if you Google leftist content creators, they're probably going to show up. It's a matter of education on ideologies, but most people don't have the will to learn the difference. So they're just going to call everyone a leftist. So, or on the left. So put it all together. We're having an open forum about dangerous people on the left. Pictures. Does that help?
Is this that you think these people are dangerous, or that you think they aren't? Or is it just
Okay.
It says dangerous people.
like
Yeah.
you're saying these people are dangerous?
Like,
I'd say so.
Like, okay.
I just explained it.
Sorry, I'm just not too I'm not too sure what the live was about. I was just curious. I don't have like
Do
a
you
counter
disagree?
argument or
You
anything.
disagree that these people are dangerous, or you don't know?
No, I was just unsure. Like I just joined the live recently and was just
So let me see if I understand. You came into a live, and instead of sitting here for a moment to just kind of read the room and see what it was about, you requested up so you could ask what it was
yes.
about? Okay. Now, what I'm going to say to you, you don't have to take this advice, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, okay? Next time, just sit a spell and listen, and you'll probably get all your questions answered, okay? Because you just came up here and made yourself look disingenuous for no reason. For you maybe not knowing.
Is it bad to ask a question?
No, it's not bad. But if you had sat for a moment, you would have had the answer without having to show everybody that you didn't pay attention, darling. Better to be thought of as a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt.
I think it's weird how people don't understand like the idea that these people are basically cosplaying people on the left or trying to be representative of such people. But the rhetoric that they spew is dangerous because they're supposed to be representing us, or they're pretending to. And they're saying, oh, like, this is who I am, this is what I believe. And a lot of it is misogyny, it's racism, it's all the isms. And people coming in that may not know anything, they're thinking that this is what we stand for, and they're going to come in with that same ideology and think that it's okay. And that's so dangerous. Like, we're letting more people in thinking that it's okay to be like this. That's what's scary to me, because like when Mercedes came in the picture, like, it was already bad, but I feel like they opened up the door for like these really toxic, very dangerous people to come in and spew their hate.
Like Mantis.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, okay, well, they're fighting for you, like, you must not want to win. Like, I would rather have,
like, win what? What are we trying to
yeah, like,
win what?
So wait, I don't think anybody understands that basically I win people who are Democrats or on the left, but they still don't see me as a fully functioning human being. How does that benefit me? How is that any better than what I have?
How is that a win for Ren?
Like, somebody explain that to me. I'm being dead ass. Explain that to me. Explain to me how that's a win for me. Just like I thought. Right now, I am talking about me, 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 me. Who else would I be talking about? Why would I be talking about anybody else? Because, see, guess what? If you take care of the needs of me as a Black disabled woman, everybody's needs gets met.
Yep. They don't realize that by asking you to not do that, they're the ones saying me, 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 me.
It's not that I don't care. It's that I recognize that this is a group project and y'all want me to do all the work for this group project and I don't even get a grade for it.
Oh, and I don't think that they're representatives, and I'm not looking for them to be representatives of me, whoever commented that. Like, I'm saying that they went on a tour, a supposed tour, to make things quote unquote better, right? And they made things a lot worse. I didn't ask them to do that. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I think that that tour was bullshit.
If your response to this background is to say, well, why don't you have this person on there? You're missing the point. Because it seems like you are more concerned with you know what? I just don't have the energy.
No, same. Like, I just I feel like they just don't really know that there isn't like enough, space for us to put like all those people on there. Sadly, there are too many, sucky, people and stuff on here. So it's sad that there isn't enough space. But I feel like I'm just because I'm someone, like I'm someone, I'm someone, someone like I'm isn't and stuff there and stuff. Like our point is still there. It just there's not enough space for all you guys. Um. So yeah.
It's just exhausting because I feel like they made us have to work even harder. Like, this just pushed us to work even harder, and it's exhausting. It's so exhausting, and we have how many more years of this?
Honestly, with the way it's going, for people that are marginalized, a whole bunch. Because it ain't gonna matter who get in office. They still gonna hate us.
It's not even just that. It's just that the damage is going to be so far done.
Yep.
Like, for example, the removing funding from Job Corps. That's 4 years of people not having the opportunity. And I saw a video that was talking about how the majority of people that get those Job Corps training programs are foster kids that aged out of the system. Where are they gonna go? Like,
Yep. Low income people. People with disabilities. People aging out of foster care. And then here's the thing that's crazy about it. And watch, once these kids that are aging out of foster care, but we're cutting funding to everything. So then what? Then what? So now you have these kids that age out of foster care. They can't go to Job Corps. They're cutting all of these financial aid and other things to the Department of Education. So what happens? They end up impoverished. And guess what the best indicator of crime is? Poverty. But go off.
Yeah, and that's why because I'm not sure on y'all's, on yours, like thoughts on this, but I feel like the people who chose to not vote for 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 Kamala and stuff because of the of the MG side. I do feel like really upset and stuff, I guess, and stuff by those people because of that, because it's like, yeah, like you didn't unchoose her and you didn't, like we didn't like, we didn't like, vote, but now we're in such a worse, time, I guess. So I feel like I'm really upset at those, people because I'm Shirley and stuff, I'm Shirley and stuff, there is on my G side, but it's also like what was, telling people who not like choose her or vote, third and stuff. That didn't solve anything or do anything, and sadly we're in a two-party system. So I'm not sure and stuff, I'm like how you guys feel on that, but I just feel like it's weird to me because now they're silent. Like those, like they were so upset, so mean and stuff. I'm, I'm, too, I'm too, I'm, too, I'm, too, I'm, too, I'm, too, who I'm Kamala, but now they're silent, so I don't see them. I don't, hear them. So I also find, yeah, like it's, sure and stuff, the conservatives suck, but then there are people who do stuck over here and stuff. Like over here, and I feel like those people and stuff. I just have a lot of a lot of like upsetness with, because it's kind of like, what did you think would 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 occur, and like all these terrible things, you turn on the news and there's just so much terrible things. So I definitely think they played a part. So
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like, I am never going to tell someone like that's from Palestine, has family there, whatever, how they should have voted. I'm never going to like disparage them for voting how they felt like they should vote. I'm also not going to tell somebody that is from a more marginalized group than I am how they should vote. Like that's for them to do. My issue was with the large amount of white content creators in safely blue states that use their platform to convince people to not vote anyway. Like if they themselves wanted to vote their party or do whatever because they're in a blue state, like I don't give a fuck, do you?
yeah,
But to give people the false sense of comfort that everything's going to be the same, it's not. Everything might be the same for you because you're in a blue state and you have the protections of a blue state. But those of us that aren't in blue states, we knew it was not going to be the same.
yeah, yeah, for
Um,
yeah. So I think too, yes, if you are like if you are a Palestinian, it's not like who who I'm upset at. It's more, yes, like of the white tea and stuff, and safe. I mean, in safe towns, etc. And then they were sitting online and stuff saying certain things. It just is kind of like it didn't, undo anything. So I feel like it was because she was, he was, POC, and she was just, held up to a different, standard. And that just is kind of like what I've seen, and I feel like, yeah, like I'm upset at those, people, because yeah, like you're in a safe, town, and this vote, I guess, wasn't, uh, 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 wasn't and stuff like as like important, I guess, for you, but for some of us it was. And also too, I find it weird and stuff as well that because I've been called, like xenophobic because I chose her. So it's like, but also like too, like I'm a person of color and stuff, and I'm in, like I'm a really like south town. So it was also like, so I feel like it's a very like like nuanced like conversation. But I feel like I'm sometimes like I don't think like a white person should be like like I'm calling a person of color and stuff like I'm xenophobic because of who they chose. So I just feel like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Hi, Iskander. I don't know if you wanted to, I saw you in the comments. I don't know if you wanted to like jump in on this conversation because I know that we met on in Pro
Yeah,
Pally Lives.
we did, yeah. And then we're also we're both mutuals of Covey. And so yeah, no, we're mutuals on my main account. This is my backup. I got flagged on this account in Amaluhi too, but I have three backups for a reason, so
What
they
did
can't
you
silence me.
do?
But so I was blasting
Actually,
this
no, don't talk about
this
what you did because I don't want to get
okay.
flagged.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Anyway, I was calling somebody out who I promised you deserved it. But anyway, and so yeah, when it comes to the election, it's just like it was the third election. I'm like, yeah, I get to vote, yay! And then it's just like, oh, it's two candidates. Neither of them criticize capitalism. Both of them support Israel. Neither of them call out the displacement of like Native Hawaiians or talk about the occupation of Puerto Rico or any of the other
Mhm,
issues that don't generally come up. Like the U.S. is an empire. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's an empire,
mhm,
and the thing with empire is it's not about human rights, it's about economic interest. So,
mhm,
I mean, if you think about how any corporation functions, there's exploitation of laborers at the bottom so that a handful of stockholders, managers, and business
mhm.
owners can profit along with Wall Street bankers. So, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. That's the way it's always been. This nation was built on bloodshed and it continues to be
Yeah,
that
we're
way. And I'm
never
over
gonna
here,
vote our way out of capitalism. No.
right. And so, with that being said, I'm looking at the election. I'm like, okay, neither of them are even, like I said, it just one of my litmus tests is do they criticize capitalism? They don't. Geez. So we're going to be screwed no matter which way we vote. Now, I understand but the
But
lesser of
to
two evils. And
what I will say though, but to be fair, as a Black woman, if she were to have criticized capitalism, they were already calling her a Marxist because that's what they do to denigrate people of color. So there was no chance, there was no way that she could have hold on, sorry, I got a flag.
oh,
Yeah, there's no chance that she could have even touched on criticizing capitalism. Like she had to walk a finer line than any other Democrat had to, even Obama.
Yeah, like
Because at least when Obama was, that was like when the whole like when Occupy was happening. I was people were upset about the war. Like people were probably more open to like the anti-capital, and that's how we got the Obamacare because people were kind of vibing with it. So she kind of had to walk a very very tight line. So I don't think there was any situation where she could have, unfortunately.
yeah, and she did call for a ceasefire, and on her page and stuff, there was like her thoughts on that. So I just don't think that we can say two sides because I think one side is low as it can get, and one side I feel like to kind of even hint that they are similar. I'm just someone who I don't think they are similar, and I think Kamala was just somebody who I like her a lot. I wish that she won so much. I like her and stuff like as a person. I liked her, like character. I think she was, like saying all the right things and fighting for the right things, but it just is, like it is like, like in politics. Um there are just things that you need to do and there's just a way and stuff, for it. So it is a sticky thing, but I just think we are holding her to a standard that we haven't held the past people. And to hint that she's anywhere near the other side, I just think is rooted in something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, I do want to let because I interrupted Iskander, but I think like Iskander did say in the chat that like had if he lived in a purple or a red state, he would have voted for her, even if he felt uncomfortable. So like I appreciate that.
yeah, for some context, so back in 2020, my mother, who is Lebanese, my mom's a Middle Eastern American, and she thought for sure that Trump was going to get us into a war with Iran. I mean, after the Soleimani got bombed out in January of 2020, my mom was like, "Oh crap! Like this is it. We're going to go to war with Iran. This is going to be catastrophic, even worse than the Iraq War was." And so my mom, being like I said, Middle Eastern herself, having felt the effects of that, she held her nose and she voted for Biden, even though as a senator, Biden voted to invade Iraq. He was actually, not only did he vote for it, he was one of the leading voices encouraging other senators to vote for the Iraq War invasion. And so my mom said that like a piece of her died on the inside of the ballot box. But at the time, she was living in Alabama because she was getting her PhD at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And so she's like, okay, this is a deeply red state. Back in 2017, Roy Moore upset Doug Jones. So like there actually are lots of progressives in the Deep South. So like I was surprised, very surprised.
We have a lot
And
of
so,
goons in the
anyways,
Deep South.
we do. No, like honest, like we seriously do. Because I lived in my mom lived in Alabama for 6 years. I lived in Virginia and North Carolina for 3 years, so or almost 3 years. So yeah, no, I completely agree. And what I'm saying is that she was in a deeply red state, and so she's thinking, okay, like she couldn't see, like I said, a piece of her died on the inside when she voted for Biden, but she's like, hey, but I have to because Trump is going to be worse. And so with that being said, I'm like, all right, so I would apply that same philosophy. Like I'm in California now, so I'm thinking, okay, my one little vote for Cornel West is not going to influence anything. The state's going for Harris. Like you can take that to the bank. That's as obvious as saying there's going to be snow in the Arctic Circle in the winter. But if I were in, let's say, a toss-up state, like I have cousins in Michigan, they voted for Harris. If
Can
I
I
was
ask you a
in,
question?
yeah,
Knowing now, like with the knowledge you have now of like how Gavin Newsom has started to capitulate to Trump, would you
so
have still made that choice?
I didn't vote for him for governor, to be honest. I didn't even vote the governor race. I probably
No,
should
but
have,
like
but
no,
yeah,
but knowing now that like because the idea is that California's a blue state, you guys have certain level of protections and all of that, but knowing now that he's starting to capitulate to some of Trump's things, um, and that maybe there are things in California that might be at risk because of it, would you have made that same choice? Because I think we're starting to
it's a tough
realize
one.
that even the blue
Yeah,
states are not safe anymore, because
they're not.
it doesn't matter what state you're in when they defund the job aids, the what is it, not job aids. What's the word? Job Corps program,
Job Corps. Yeah.
like or any of these programs. I think there was a sense of security in a lot of these blue states that isn't there anymore, and I don't think people even realized like how big this. I mean, of course, California still went for Kamala, but you personally, uh, like, would you have made that same decision knowing not that your vote would have made a difference, but just like it would have been on your conscience? Like I don't know.
I mean, when it comes to Newsom, I've never liked him. I'll just be completely upfront about that. Liberals annoy me, especially in Newsom's case, because he just comes across as like he just gives off used car salesman vibes. I don't know how to describe it, but I remember
I
when
know
like
it's like what
it
you
was like
mean.
yeah, like 900 grand or something like that from PG&E when he was running for governor. And I'm like, how is this even like PG&E is supposed to be,
He reminds me
for
of
those who
American
aren't,
Psycho.
he does, but like Pacific Gas and Electric, I remember like I don't even know how they were even allowed to do this, but they donated a ton of money to his campaign. He gets into office, he allows them to raise everyone's rates, and then they're blaming the wildfires. Oh, it's the wildfires. That's why we had to raise our rates. Thinking, well, why are there so many wildfires? Oh, it's because there's forest overgrowth. Newsom doesn't want to let loggers cut down a few trees here and there, and so it's just like it's seeing the political corruption of it all. Then he's trying to say, "Oh, I'm going to run for like there's rumors he's going to run for president in 2028." I'm like, he's going to get destroyed because he's weak. Like this is the issue that with the Democratic Party, they're not left enough, I think, and this is where
Hmm.
so many progressives get alienated, and they either just stay home and don't vote, or they vote third party, and this is what allows Trump and his ilk to surge. But I think we were talking about like racism, for example, like, oh, if Harris were to criticize capitalism, she would just get hit with everything in a kitchen sink. That there is an element of truth to that, and that gets to a broader problem, and that is society at large. Like wish casting when it comes to voting, I don't think is productive. We have to be on the ground, grassroots, because like when I think about Trump, he's not a cause, he's a symptom. he's a
Mm-hmm.
symptom of a broader problem. Like, who's voting for him? Who's going out and volunteering in his campaign? Like, those are the people you need to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like, even a dictator isn't immune from public opinion. So, because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we can't all be stopped and we can't all be wrong. And so that's just kind of like where I'm coming out. Like, even when I was studying Russian politics, like reading this book called it's called Weak Strongman by Timothy Fry, and it's about Putin. Like, Putin actually does have internal elections to like gauge public opinion, believe it or not. Like, elections do exist in authoritarian regimes as well. Dictators aren't immune. And the point is that with Trump, if he wants to try to take over the military, the media, and the courts, okay, well, he's going to have to deal with all of us, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of my point. Like, when I think about just foreign policy for a second, um, no doubt that he personally would absolutely love to invade Iran. And so would people like John Bolton and Lindsey Graham and these other little cowards in the Republican Party who want to declare wars that they're not actually going to fight, right? But what's holding him back is the massive public outcry that would inevitably result from war with Iran, like even within his own party. So his arm is being twisted, and that's kind of the whole point. These politicians have to be made aware that they're going to be held accountable when they do terrible stuff. And we need to deliver that accountability. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. So,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, I'll land that plane there because I'm not trying to take over the panel.
I do want to respond to like people in the chat. Like the issue I'm having with a lot of your commentaries in the chat, y'all, is like someone said Newsom isn't liberal, he's a moderate. And we've heard like, oh, so and so is not on the left. So like y'all are so quick. It's kind of like when someone like points out someone doing something racist and there's like a white lady in the chat that's like, we don't claim them. Like it doesn't matter if you claim Newsom. There's no moderate party that you can vote for. Unfortunately, he's on the left. If you're voting on the left or liberal or Democrat, or whatever, he's on our side. It's that simple. You can call it whatever you want. He has the D next to his name. I don't know, like to just try to like distance yourself from shitty people. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense. I don't know why you guys do that. It's crazy. Like it doesn't matter if you think Ethan is left or not. He's considered to be someone on the left. Unless something's changed and he's a huge Trumper now. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't watch him.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know. I even said this in the comments, and some of your mods were pinging me. I was like, I don't even know who most of the people in this picture are, to be honest with you.
That's good.
And then yeah, like you and your mods are like, oh, that's good. You're lucky. And I'm like, okay. I know like who Hassan Piker is. I know who Destiny is. I know who Parker is. I know those three. Those are the only names I recognize.
That's wonderful.
Harry. Okay, yeah, those four. So those four people. The other ones, I honestly don't know them. I don't even recognize their names or their faces. So, I mean, maybe I spent too much time in. Yeah.
Well, no, it's because probably because none of those people have ever gave a shit about Palestine. That's probably why you haven't heard of it.
I was about to say I probably spend too much time in my little pro-Pali echo chamber spaces or something.
Is my life like one of the few places where you dip your toe somewhere else, because you're always over there?
I usually am. The thing is, though, I'm not, like, I've said this all the time, I'm not a single issue person. Like, I've been on lives with like conservatives. I've been on lives with like really hardcore like Marxist Leninists. Like, saw my friend Rick in the comments, for example. A lot of those spaces though are very small. Like, it's on a huge platform like what you have. Or my friend Savark Media, yeah, he does a lot of stuff on Palestine, but he's also talked about Sudan. He's also talked about the Congo. He's also talked about Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan. So that's a space that I'm also regular on. I've been a mod for him a couple of times. So, I mean, the thing is, though, it's mostly foreign policy. I don't get to talk about domestic issues all that often. So, like tariffs and trade, immigration, which is a huge one, and one that's actually very personal for me because my mother is an immigrant. And so, with that being said, yeah.
Well, then Becker said the Alina to Tasnemo to Pro Pali pipeline is legit. Yeah, I've converted quite a few people.
Yeah, no, Taz is cool. She's a friend of mine, but yeah, no, there are other, like, I would like there to be more spaces that were just, how do I phrase this? like Palestine is always going to be very important for me, for sure. I mean, I am Lebanese. This is, it's deeply personal, but at the same time, it's not the only thing that I care about. For example, and I say this all the time, Palestine for me isn't a stopping point; it's a starting point. So it starts there, but the reality is what's happening to the Palestinians, unfortunately, isn't new. If I'm looking
Hmm.
at, for example, what's happening to Native Americans or what has happened to them over the last 400, 500 years, it's basically what's happening to the Palestinians now. It's just what's happening to the Palestinians is being carried out with modern weapons. So, but it's the same concept: collective punishment, mass displacement, grape, bastardizing the history, demonization, vilification, and then essentially it's just colonization 101, right? And there are people who defend it because they're going to say, oh well, this is just the way nature is. Nature is cool, nature is horrible, but the strongest survive, blah blah blah, Darwinistic, racist, eugenicist crap. And it's just what blows my mind is that it's like whenever you see a demographic shift in a country, this is where you see the right wingers like come to the surface, like the pro Yahtzee types who spout off rhetoric. And it's funny, they try to hide it at times too. Oh no, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. It's like, oh really? Really? So like for example, with immigration, let's say in the United States, California and Texas are majority non-white states, and that's in large part because of Latin American immigrants. So now the rhetoric is, oh, we need to deport them all. Their numbers are getting too big. We need to get them down so that white people can take these states back over and whatever. Like J.D. Vance said the quiet part out loud on the Joe Rogan podcast. Reagan made a lot of mistakes. Oh, he let too many Mexicans into California, and that's how we lost it. I'm thinking, J.D. Vance, if you Republicans weren't so damn racist, you do realize these people would probably vote for you, right? I mean, they're generally very conservative. Like, I grew up in the Central Valley of California myself. I speak Spanish. Like, they're generally very, very conservative philosophically. But you guys are so damn racist to the point where you lose this voting bloc. You advocate to massively deport them. It's like, that's why a lot of them vote Democrat. I mean, it's just like, oh my God. It's like they will prioritize white supremacy over the so-called family values they claim to represent, and it blows my freaking mind. Yeah, Andrew, I'm with you. I can't stand him either. So, but anyway, I noticed we have a new guest on the panel, so I'll shut up and I'll wait for my turn to speak again.
Ty's teacup. Ren, you still there? You working?
No, I'm off.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I have a headache, but I wanted to share something because this background, and it goes with the background, and I thought it was funny. So there was this video, and it stated it was like an interview, street interview, and the guy asks, "What's something that straight people need to hear?" And the man responds, "Straight men, stop painting your nails, especially if you're just gonna essay women with them." And I was like, I should tag him. I mean,
The sad part is that someone started this live off by asking why he wasn't on the background, and I explained why. And then we actually had to like defend him because the guy was literally saying that he's not even black. And I was like, fuck you.
wild.
Fuck you for making me have to
Yeah, no.
defend it anyway.
That's crazy. But no, I just thought that was very fitting for the background that you have. It's like, it's a good point. I like a lot of straight men will do that. They'll do all these things. They'll paint their nails to be like, oh, ally, I'm safe. You can trust me because look at me. I'm in touch with my feminine side, and then they still hurt you.
So thoughts, Ren? Thoughts on anything that we've talked about?
A lot of them, but I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. But what I'm going to say is the reason, and Iskander just said this a few moments ago, where he said that a lot of these different communities tend to be very conservative. But because the conservative party will not deal with the racism and the sexism and the misogyny and the other things in their ranks, that is how they don't run away with things. Because a lot of these groups are very conservative. I do not understand why racism and misogyny and xenophobia and Islamophobia and anti-Semitism and these things, I do not understand why they are not deal breakers. Why are they not deal breakers? That's why we're here.
You know what? Honestly, and I've been asking myself that very question for a while, and here's what I've gathered. So I'm about to finish grad school, get a master's degree in international affairs, background in political science, and so um, anyway, so like here's what I've just kind of gathered, right? And I mentioned this earlier. Whenever you see a demographic shift in a country, what you'll start to see is right wingers come out of the woodwork. So I'll give you a quick example with India. So you have a lot of people, not everybody, of course. There are lots of people in India, like Indian leftists, who are amazing, who condemn Narendra Modi because Narendra Modi wants India to be like this so-called Hindu ethno state, where Hindus, as he defines them, so like Hindus with right-wing beliefs, like the idea is that they're the ones who should be controlling the media, the courts. Yeah, they're the ones who should be controlling the media, the courts. No, oh no, we're becoming India stan. We can't let these Muslims continue to populate and grow. So the idea is let's get their numbers down. So this is what motivates a lot of aggression in the Kashmir region. And then this is where the Islamophobia comes out. And carrying this back to the United States, like I was mentioning earlier, the United States is set to be majority non-white by 2045. And I think that frightens a lot of people because they think that the United States is being lost, that it's not going to be the United States anymore. It's going to be United States ago, or whatever the conspiracy is.
Let me push back. That's not what the problem is. The problem is that they're afraid that that everyone else is going to treat them the way they have treated everybody. That's what they're scared of.
No, I agree. No, I completely agree with you. Yeah, no, that is essentially what I was trying to say. This is what,
Oh, okay.
yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. That's my point. This is why they're so afraid of a demographic shift. And it's just like, why are we using religion, race, or ethnicity to define who is and who's not deserving of rights? That's the part that I don't understand. Like, why are people so insistent on thinking that way? Like, that is such a hateful ideology that when you begin to violently enforce that demographic order, you basically become a freaking fascist. That's what fascism is. Like, I thought that we were all taught that the Yazidis were bad.
Eh, I thought so, but I cannot definitively say that that's the case any longer. Do I believe that should be the case? Yes. Is it the case? The jury is still out.
After this election, I don't have a lot of hope.
Yeah, me neither. Because there are some schools that are teaching that teaching that slavery was a positive thing for the two sides. So I don't have any, I guess, faith in certain things now and in schooling and stuff because they're not teaching this stuff that they should be.
Okay. I saw a video of somebody talking about Harriet Tubman is not a real person.
Oh, we're on the same FYP run. I saw that too.
Yeah, me too.
And I saw that and I was like,
Saw that too, and it just so many children were left behind. It's just so sad. So many were left so far behind.
What's interesting? Oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I cut you off. That's my bad.
Yeah, I forgot though. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Here's another thing too, right? And it's like I've seen this from white left, like fellow white leftists. Some of them are very class reductionist, and basically they kind of act like racism and Islamophobia and xenophobia and another just forms of discrimination that they don't exist, and that it all just kind of comes down to class. And I'm thinking, okay, listen, like, yes, I'm all for criticizing capitalism, 100%. However, to act as if, just because you're a minority with money that you're immune isn't true. Sure, yeah, having money helps. Like, money is power in a capitalist society. Nobody's denying this. However, here's just one little anecdote that I'll share with everyone. So, heavyweight boxing champion Joe Frazier, first man to ever beat Muhammad Ali, very, very big name in the boxing community. Like, those who follow boxing, everyone knows Joe Frazier. Okay, he wins the heavyweight title. He beats Muhammad Ali, fight of the century, 1971. Okay, he goes back to his hometown of Beaufort, South Carolina. Keep in mind, Joe Frazier was born and raised on a plantation before he moved north to Philadelphia. And this is where he started his boxing career. All that stuff with Sylvester Stallone, running up the steps and punching a cow carcass. Joe Frazier invented all of that. So a true like rags to riches type story. He goes back to his hometown. He tries to cash a check for like $7 million or however much it was. It'd be like probably, I don't know, $30 million in today's money, some absurd amount. And the bank teller refuses to cash the check because he was a black man. They told him, we don't serve your kind here, go away. They didn't care that he was an Olympic gold medalist. They didn't care that he was a honest to God family man. They didn't care. Even though it's in the bank's best interest to cash the check and get his money, right? This is how bankers make their money. They take your money, loan it to somebody else at an interest rate, and then you ultimately will pay back more than what you were loaned, right? This is how bankers operate. So, and the more money the bank gets, the more loans it can give out. So, but the racial hatred superseded the wealth. And Joe Frazier reportedly stormed out of that bank in disgust for completely justified reasons. And that was that. So, the point is that you can that it's all going to be unicorns, fairy dust and pixies and whatever else. There's still going to be discrimination. You might be immune from the classism maybe, but that doesn't mean that racism is suddenly not going to exist. It's still going to be there.
But I can give you an even more recent story. Back about 7 years ago, Serena Williams was having a baby. And she ended up with blood clots. And they kept telling the doctors that something was wrong. And keep in mind, she is married to a very wealthy man, and she is very wealthy in her own right. And she almost unalived because that money didn't make them listen to her. They didn't care. So money, I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't smooth out some wrinkles, but it doesn't make everything perfect. Humans are interesting.
I completely agree. I mean, it just kind of gets to like a broader question that I ask myself all the time is why are there so many people who just don't care about human rights like at all? All they care about is what's going to make them money. So just as a very quick thought experiment for just everybody in the comments, imagine if, let's say, you won the lottery and you were like a multi-millionaire overnight. Do you think that the way people treat you would change? Like that was the question I was trying to ask everyone, like a non-rhetorical question.
Yes, I think they would.
Right. Some people who maybe were pieces of crap to you would start kissing your ass because they find out that you have money and they want some of it. Muhammad
I was
Ali.
going to say no because I wouldn't tell nobody, but that's just me.
But people find out it's public. Like it's publicly announced. Like it's all over the place. Oh my gosh, Ren won the lottery. She's got $300 million in the bank now. And so with that said, Muhammad Ali once had a quote where he said, "Hey, I would never trust someone who's rude to or who's nice to me but rude to the waiter because they would treat me the same way if I were in that position." I might be paraphrasing slightly, but that's essentially what he said, and he was right. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a genius. So, frankly, that's unfortunately the way a lot of people operate, and I just don't know what the solution to that is. I mean, it's like trying to, I guess, instill a sense of civics and morality into people who just don't want to have it. So it's a deep philosophical question.
Alina, you ain't shit.
What?
I just noticed I was so confused with the chat, but yeah.
Why is the cat still up there? And I apologized. I still haven't. She came back in here and she hasn't said anything in the chat, so maybe she's getting representation or something. But she comes in every day and she says, "Day 33, trying to see if I'm getting canceled." But Mao didn't never apologize, by the way. That's
No, he
misinformation.
apologized and then did something else.
Yara. Someone's gonna screenshot this and be like, all right, I think that's enough. It's enough reindeer games.
Reindeer games.
Or somebody take you seriously.
Reddit isn't ready for this, I know.
Who is in
I think-
therapy unpacking and working towards being better?
Mal, probably.
Mal? Okay, that's fair.
Oh, does anyone want an orange kitten? Because we got Zeta has a fuck ton of orange kittens.
I love cats. If I could get another cat, my family already has 3 cats. Otherwise, I would totally be down. So, I do believe in kindness towards animals. There's a lot that you can tell about someone based upon how they treat animals, in my opinion.
This person was begging in the comments.
Yeah, my name is Nibby.
Yay. Whoop-de-doo.
I was just introducing myself. I'm sorry.
Nice to meet you. What would you like to add to the conversation?
2 minutes, Ren.
I'd say 45 seconds.
2 minutes for what?
Just go ahead. What would you like to add to the conversation?
What do you mean by the left?
What do we mean by the left?
Yeah, like those guys are paid by the DNC. Like, what do you mean?
Okay. Hey, do you understand how politics work in this country?
Yeah.
So you
There's a
have
left and there's right. You got Democrat, Republican, liberal.
Okay, so you have left and right. And these people tend to fall on the left side. That is why it says the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you mean they're a danger to the left? I thought those people were a part of the left.
Hey.
Like, I thought the Parker guy.
I got a question for you. I got a very simple question for you. Can I be in a relationship and still be bad to my partner and dangerous to my partner, but still be in the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So you know the answer to the question that you just asked me.
It was more like a question on how they're dangerous.
Hold on a second, Nibby. Love you, Emma. Love you, Dr. Emma.
Bye, Emma.
Okay, so what are you asking? Like, I don't.
How are they dangerous, like, to the left? How would you consider that they're dangerous to the left?
Do you think being racist is dangerous?
Yeah.
Do you think being misogynistic and sexist is dangerous?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that having credible accusations of revenge porn and SA are dangerous?
Which one of those did that?
I'm just asking a question.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna like say that any of that shit's right. I mean, I'm just asking you, like, which one of y'all did, or which one of them did that is what I'm asking. Like, I just really was wanting to understand why y'all thought that those people were dangerous. to the left. I mean, like, I didn't come up here to argue. I'm just genuinely like wondering. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't even know what they did to so-called be called dangerous. So I'm just kind of seeing what they did to be dangerous in more of a sense, I guess. I'm just asking the question. It's not like I'm trying to be like an asshole or anything. Like, I'm just genuinely asking the question. Like, what did
She
they
just
do?
gave you a bunch of examples of stuff they did.
I'm asking, yeah, like which ones did is what I'm saying.
Oh no,
All of them did something bad.
Which one, like which ones did what is what I'm asking.
I don't like that question, and I'm going to tell you why. Because that question reeks of somebody that is attempting to assign numbers of culpability for actions instead of just understanding that all of these people have done something to be on this background, or they believe something that means that they should be on this background. Instead of recognizing that, you can go down these rabbit holes. There's nothing that we have said up here. There's nobody that's up here that is not a social media person that you can find all this information yourself.
Easily.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Okay, then so then why should I do the labor then? If you're that interested in it, show a little bit of gumption and go figure it out.
It's really just a simple question. I don't know why you're
It's
getting
not
so
a simple
defensive.
question. A simple question is a yes or no, something that takes like maybe a couple words to answer. That's not a simple question.
Or you just name the topics that the people did and put the
She just
faces to
did.
the names. I mean, no, she didn't tell
She
me
just
the
gave you
exact
examples
person
of
that did
them.
either.
Brand, how much would you
She
charge
gave me
for a
examples,
full
but
breakdown so he can send it to you?
I'm not sending her money.
Okay, then just do your own
Y'all are
research
supposed to
then.
be so-called. You're supposed to be educating people, right?
Nah,
Oh.
I'm warning people. I'm not educating people. I'm warning people.
And this is an open forum, so the people that come up here should have something to say because it's an open forum.
Mm-hmm.
So you can acknowledge that people on the left are bad, right? That's good.
And the right. We're not talking about the right because we all know they're bad. There's no question
So
about
all
that.
the people on the right are bad, no matter what.
Yes.
Either they're bad or they support bad people. One of the two.
So only the left can be right, but not even the left. Only a quarter of the left.
No. The right are the ones who voted for an SAer.
But your prompt is kind of going against your stance as a political, I guess, whatever you're trying to be. I don't know. I'm
not trying to be anything. I'm trying to be a human. I'm trying to be a human that cares about people. That's it.
Do you have the stance of being on the left, on the side of the left?
What does that have to do with being a human being and exposing people who are predators? I'm not really I'm not really understanding that question.
That's not what the argument is, bro.
No, I think that's very much what it is that there's people that are in the behind the host that are predators. I'm just gonna say it because I don't think they will. Your question's a little stupid, if not all the way. They've told you a multitude of times. They've said it since this live has started.
Here, one second.
Beforehand.
One second.
What is happening? I'm gonna continue. No, I don't have to stop talking for one. You can continue to do whatever the hell you're gonna do.
Listen, give me 1 second.
Well, again, nonetheless, like I said, the people behind the screen or on the screen are dangerous people. Nonetheless, and no one needs to give you any amount of lip service to justify that. And if they do,
continue, bro.
You can pay.
I didn't hear anything you said. I turned the volume down on my phone. I was talking to somebody. What'd you say? I didn't listen to anything you just said. I told you that.
Completely. That's completely fine.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you.
Okay. Well, I'm not asking a question of that. All I said was I want to put faces to names so I know who did what. That's just the question. I mean, I'm not advocating what they did was right. I'm not.
But Nibby.
Any of that.
Nibby. So you're not saying what they did.
Can you call me Nib?
But you don't care.
I don't like being called my full name. Can you call me Nib?
No.
Can you call me Nib instead?
No, I won't.
It's just why. I mean, I'm just asking nicely.
I understand that.
Can I be called what I have to be called?
No, I don't like that. It's something about it just
Why?
feels kind of.
It's Nib. That's what I want to be called. Nib. N-I-B.
Okay.
Nib.
Okay, Nib. Whatever. because I already know the argument that you're attempting to make. And it just goes to show that you absolutely are one.
How do you know what argument I'm going to make? Can you read minds?
No, but I can make an educated guess.
Answer my question.
What?
Thank you, Trisha, for
Can
the
you read
$10. Trisha
Can you
says, "I
get
love
better?
you.
Can you
Mao is
get better
innocent." I
Wi-Fi? Can you
disagree.
get better Wi-Fi, dude? Because like you're asking all these questions, and I don't even think you have the proper Wi-Fi to be able to hear them all, dude. Your connection's messing with my connection. So
Okay. Is that supposed to be installed or something? Like what? Do you pay your own phone bill?
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, fuck, I have my service. I mean, I pay for my own phone bill, so.
What?
I mean, my internet can be however good or bad I want it to be. At least I pay for it, hell.
Who doesn't pay for their internet?
I don't know.
But
They're making
why?
assumptions about me, so I'm going to make
Wait a
assumptions
minute.
about y'all.
Now, Nib, wait a minute.
It's Liv. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling me my name. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You asked me to. I did it with no problem, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, after you insulted me, but yeah, I appreciate it
How
though.
did I insult you?
Because you didn't call me what I wanted to be called first. What if I identified as something else? Would you be cool with calling me that?
Told you. Knew it. Clocked it. Told you.
I'm saying, but I
I
asked
knew
you to call me
exactly
something.
what he was gonna say.
I knew he was going to go there too, Ren.
Yep.
They always think they're so smart, but they're actually the dumbest people on the planet.
They completely show the anti-intellectual behavior that is not just on the right, but is also on the left as well, which is why those individuals are behind you. I just think it's hilarious because the whole entire time while he's up here, he's trying to prove a point that doesn't need to be made, nor is anybody going to comprehend because none of us are
Who was proving a point?
anti-intellectual.
I was asking a question about her panel.
No,
Who was trying to prove a point? I asked about the
no.
panel.
Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not beat around the bush, okay?
I'm not even.
I think
I'm not even a supporter of any political party. I just want to know what these people.
I
did.
never said that you were, so that just goes to show you how anti-intellectual even your assumptions are. So
Well, I mean, I don't know what you would be getting at. Like you're calling me them people. That's kind of racist. Do you even know my ethnicity?
in order for it to be racist, there has to be a power structure, and if I'm not mistaken, I never whipped you for 500 fucking years in order for that to happen. So yeah.
What if I'm black?
Again, I'm
The fact
Pan-African
that you
song
just
from
said,
the
"What if I
diaspora.
am?" means you're not.
Dad, oh my god.
How do you know?
I have a question. First,
What?
and I'm gonna lead this question with this. First of all, race, ethnicity, and nationality be whooping y'all ass. Like y'all just it be like beating the brakes off you. That does not matter.
Yeah,
the point still stands. Did I say that?
So can I be that?
Did I say that only black people know the difference between race, nationality, and ethnicity? Or did I say race, nationality, and
You're implying
ethnicity
it.
stay whooping y'all asses?
You're implying it.
No, I'm
What?
not.
What is? Nothing can whoop anybody's ass physically if nothing's happening.
It's a figure of speech.
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. You educated me so good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're. I know your type.
I know your type too.
Okay, what's my type?
He's a five-time gold medalist in mental gymnastics.
Indigo, hold on a second. Hold on, okay? Hold on.
And mental gymnastics, that's a sport.
What's my type? What's
Maybe
my
I should
type?
try to join.
What's my type?
Your type?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You the one that said you know my type.
I think
so
I know.
So
Here,
what do
hold
you
up, hold up. Let me look at your profile picture. And I'll think. Hold up, let me think.
I'm finna catch one. You know, right? Mm-hmm.
Catch what? Catch what?
Go ahead.
Nobody's catching anything. I can't physically throw anything to you through the phone. I can't do that.
You right. What's your answer?
Let me think. I'm still thinking. Hey, let Tractor Tim get up here. He might.
No. You can answer the question I asked you, or you can go away. Those are your two available options, Nib.
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call.
I don't care. Anyway, Alex, ended. What am I supposed to be saying here?
It's Indignite. I play Fortnite on my
Okay.
side on my off times. I'm a journalist, so I play that on my
Maybe
off
I'll
times.
just
So that's
here 1 second. Sorry. I had to let that phone call go through again. Okay, I think I got it.
Go ahead.
Huh. No, I actually for an experiment like this, I think I need to keep studying you. I think this is going to take a while. It's a hard study.
Why?
This is really hard.
Why?
There's just a lot I don't know.
Like what? What do you need to know?
Someone said, stop thinking so hard. I can't smell the smoke through the screen. Why can't you smell the smoke? Well, it's hard. I mean, you're a social experiment, so I just think
Why am I a
it's
social
hard.
experiment? What makes me that?
I don't know. You just seem so angry. I don't know. It's hard to mess with a person that's as angry as you are.
what the fuck is with
As
all
soon
the
as I came up on the
eugenics? What
live,
the
you
fuck
just
is
seemed,
with all the eugenics talking points? Like you went from like talking contemporary to like
what is a eugenic, bro? Can you define eugenics?
Hold
Can you
on.
define eugenics?
Wild.
Hold on.
Hey, bro. Hell yeah. Somebody call me Neeb in the chat.
Dev, stay focused.
Thank you.
Stay focused.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I like when you call me by my name. Thank you.
So now my question to you is, what have I done to be perceived as angry?
I don't know. You just yell too damn much.
I'm not yelling.
She doesn't yell at all, actually.
As soon as somebody says one thing, you just get really
She's never yelled here.
Okay.
Like
Are you a feminist?
Am I a feminist? No.
Not you. Her, the host.
Why are you deflecting from the conversation with Ren?
No. I'm gonna get back to her. Like I said, I'm still.
We're gonna focus on that, and then we can talk to me.
You're up.
So what have I said?
I just want to know. I want to know a little bit more.
What have I said that can be perceived as angry?
I don't know. You just assume too much. You don't even know me. You don't know nothing about me. You just think you know everything about me.
You said
seem
she
pretty
was
angry
yelling.
when you say that. Like,
when did I yell at you?
Yeah, she was. And then she also has a tone. I don't like her tone.
My tone? What's wrong with my tone, Neil?
Someone said the runner is lacing up his shoes. What makes someone think I'm a runner?
No.
Who's running?
I want to know if you would like to talk to me.
I can't physically run if I can't run on a track.
Neil, either talk.
I'm not trying to talk to you. I want to talk to her now.
No.
I want to talk to the host.
That's not how it works.
It's her panel. I got a question. I don't want to talk to her.
No.
Why? I don't want to talk to her. I think I've already got to the point.
Now, back to the conversation we were having, Nib.
We're not having anything that it's not going anywhere. Did somebody turn off the comments?
Oh, absolutely, because you can't stay out of them.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So I want to know.
Maybe you're losing the money that you're supposed to be getting on your live for that.
Hey, what have I done to be seen as angry or have a tone with you?
I don't know.
So why did you say it if you don't know?
Because I just felt like it. I guess it's a free country. I can do that, right? Am I allowed to do that?
I'm not gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I'm also gonna recommend you should probably play in traffic. You shouldn't play with me.
See, that's an insult. That's what we call insult. It makes you an angry person. You're miserable.
No, that's not an insult. I'm telling you, you could
Yeah,
always
you're telling me to play in traffic.
Hey, Neil, you could
I can
always
take that. I can take that multiple different ways. There's a lot of
could
context
choose
in it.
to do neither.
That shows what type of person you are.
You could choose to do neither.
Okay, then why are you advising me to do that unless you have some kind of rhetoric behind that?
Hey. I said instead of playing
You don't
with
even know
me,
what you're mad about. That's what's funny. I didn't even come on the panel. I literally just asked.
Ren.
I asked a simple question.
Bye.
God, is that can I go now? Jesus Christ.
W to Grug. Hold on, let me put the comments back on. Grug sent to kick him and then also to share with you, Ren. So I'll send you that after.
Okay.
And then also Trisha sent another 20 for free Mao.
My God,
like I was. You got to be super insufferable to get kicked from an open forum conversation.
To be told,
Ren, do you have a couple minutes? I got to go use the restroom.
Yeah, I got a few minutes. Go ahead.
You guys better behave.
Yeah, I got it. He was, y'all. The reason that when he came up, me and Alina both gave a number of time is because we absolutely knew he was going to say something racist. We knew it was coming. That's why it was not surprising to any of us. So.
Just kick him though. He was so stupid. Like I don't even agree with you guys, but he was so dumb.
But no.
I don't think he knew he was on a live, to be honest with you.
If we kicked everybody that didn't have two brain cells to rub together, it wouldn't be a lot of people to talk to.
Yeah, true, but he didn't even have two brain cells. He had one. Anyways,
that's estimating kind of high.
What do you guys mean by dangerous people on the left? Because I don't think all these people are dangerous. I think actually some of them are pretty beneficial to what I consider the left.
Okay.
Or am I supposed to only talk to host about this?
No, you can talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few of these people have like, I don't know what allegations they have. I think like, well, I don't recognize half of them. I don't think.
Hey, Alex, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think racism and things like that are bad?
Yeah.
Do you think sexism is bad?
Yeah.
Do you think misogyny and misogynoir is bad?
Yes.
Do you think that SA is bad?
Yeah. Yeah, I think all those are bad.
Hold on. Do you think revenge porn is bad?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think being a Zionist is bad?
No.
Okay. That's one thing. Do you think that let's see, what else? Do you think that attempting to appeal to the racist underbelly of society in an effort to get votes, do you think that's a good idea?
A good idea or
a good idea?
I think it's a very good idea, yes. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but it's a very good idea because it works.
Okay. So
like
you may think these people are perfectly fine.
How so?
Because you think that's a good idea.
What do you mean? Like thinking that appealing
do you think colonialism is bad and imperialism?
Colonialism and imperialism? Well, it doesn't really occur anymore that much. But
I'm gonna stop you right there, buddy.
What?
Okay, I am an Afro-Indigenous, journalist, investigative journalist. I have been covering Palestine since before October 7th. So, mind you, some of these individuals that you see on or behind the host started on October 7th and have essentially what some people, not that I claim this, but jumped the line in regards to being known as individuals that you can rely on for news, analysis, coverage, conversations that are deeply rooted in decolonial analysis. They co-opt the term decolonial, they co-opt terminology to best suit their narratives. So in regards to, why they're dangerous people, it doesn't just have to do with them being sex pests, them being predators, them being misogynists, them being patriarchal, being liberal to the core, it has a lot to do with them silencing the term colonialism, the term imperialism, by saying that these things don't exist or they're too complicated or have too many nuances for us to sit and try and break through, while indigenous people like myself have worked our asses off almost 6 years to get well over maybe 10% of what Hassan Piker gets. And he gets that not just from the DNC, he gets that
I
from
just
like
knew you were talking about Hassan.
Hassan is not protected by the DNC.
I knew you were talking about him.
you know, like
Because I was like,
these
none of these white people talk about Palestine. What do you mean?
like none of these individuals, but moreover, like none of them deserve what they have, but they deserve everything that's coming to them. And I think that that's really what people don't want to talk about, is that these individuals are dangerous because of what they've done. And there is no type of accountability that's going to stop individuals like myself and the host from exposing these people. Hassan Piker made thousands of dollars off of streamers for quote unquote platforming juveniles who were then left to fight fires while Cal Fire ate In and Out 24/7. Okay, I have friends that were a part of Cal Fire that said it themselves. We didn't fight these fires. They were fought by conservation corps. They were fought by juvenile delinquents, quote unquote. So I have a lot of smoke for people, who want to say, well, that it's good to pony up to a bunch of racists, because that's how we can win an election. No, not when you can't properly contradict of why we have an electoral process, how that electoral process has been stolen through I think it's FIC versus Citizens United, which literally makes it to where billionaires can win these elections. So I have no trust in none of those people behind me or behind them. Again, these people are dangerous as described. So
Okay, that was a whole lot of nothing, to be honest with you. You kind of just gish-gobbed that entire
Just
time.
because you didn't
Saying
understand
random
it doesn't
words.
mean that it was nothing. Put one in the chat if you understood everything that Indignite said.
Okay, if you understood
one.
If you understood everything he said, what was he talking about with the Cal Fire thing, host?
Basically,
No, host. Host, what was he talking about with the Cal Fire thing? Can you explain verbatim what he said?
You don't have to act like I'm not fucking here and like I can't answer that fucking question.
So well, and she understood
no, because you're trying to downplay. No. What you're doing is you're trying to downplay the host's intellect, and you're also trying to downplay me, and I'm not going to allow that to fucking happen.
I'm not trying to downplay it, but you were gish.
No, I think you are. I think you are. I gave proper examples within the examples. You see how I gave like subtext for you to follow, and like you couldn't follow the subtext because you're too caught up in trying to make a point where you have no intellect, dog. You have like no intellect, and I could like hear it in your voice.
Okay.
Which is why you keep asking these dumbass questions. You keep trying to very dumbass questions. Okay, I'm being very blunt because I was very nice. And I thought that you were coming to this, very cordial, really trying to learn something. But I think you're like every other fucking schmuck that has tried me and every other person.
Oh yeah, let's add on.
You're gonna find out, okay? I gave sub examples for the examples of why they're dangerous. Now you said before I even started to talk to you about what you needed to help understanding, you said you were agreement with Zionism. Well, Zionism is a settler fucking colonial. Well, what did you? Well, you don't think Zionism is fucking bad. You don't think Zionism is fucking bad. So I guess what the by process of elimination you think it's good. I think that's
No,
how,
that's not how that works.
yeah, well then what is it then? Is it just some secular fucking entity that
Why are
gets
you
to do
swearing?
whatever it wants?
Hey,
Because
because he
I here
can. He's
because
allowed to in my space.
Of course he's allowed
that
to.
part,
I just don't know why
that
you
part,
have.
but also because you only seem to understand when individuals meet a certain octave and start speaking in a certain term. So I'm gonna push back my intellect and my energy from trying to figure out big words because I know your dumbass isn't gonna understand it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna use words that you can understand, like fucking shit, since that's what gets you excited. Okay, that's what like gets the your blood boiling. Okay. See, I don't think you really properly understand the people that are on this app. It's not just individuals who come on here just to do live streams. It's actual people who are doing work and at the same time trying to educate, trying to inform. And I think what you do is you come in and you think that you could say something that's going to completely erase every bit of intellect that we have worked our asses off to acquire.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm asking what Hassan Piker did wrong. Is trying to
Hassan Piker went and took a bunch of cameras where there were people that were actively needing individuals to understand that it wasn't just individuals in the Palisades fire that were being affected, that a whole entire all black community was affected called Altadena, okay, in California, for which he didn't go document. So he only documented Palisade, high up in the hills, echelon fires, and then tried to make it seem like it was something that was like radical by saying like, oh, I'm going to film the juveniles, but not hold any of the individuals accountable that made that what it was, who didn't properly do things accordingly. So again, I gave you example. I gave you another example.
You're saying
as to
that
why
since you didn't.
as to why this individual should not be trusted, because again, they make money off of people's hardships. That's what happens. The
You're
same way
saying
that
that-
the same way that Eli Parker loves to pretend like he loves to talk about and debate Trump supporters and stuff like that. He loves it because they send him money. Okay, it's a
Do you make
grift.
money at your job?
These people are grifting. Yes, I make money.
So
If I
you're
sell it,
taking-
if I sell an article,
you're taking advantage of
if I
people's
sell,
suffering.
how am I taking advantage of people?
Yeah, because you
I'm
make money
selling
off of it.
because I'm selling an article that
Yeah,
I
because-
fucking produce. You
Yeah.
dumbass! How
Yeah, Hassan's
ignorant are
videos
you?
are basically articles just in video format.
How are
You're
they?
taking
How are they
advantage of people
articles?
who are
How are they
suffering.
articles in form? He is then taking people's whole entire intellect off of Twitter and he's posting it on his page, getting the subscription, getting the revenue, getting the monetization, getting the funding, getting the sponsorship. While the tweet that he posted only gets what? Maybe 500-600 more likes because he posted it on there. That does nothing for the person that he just stole their intellectual property from. See, you don't
Yeah, most of
understand.
his live is just playing other people's videos. I've seen him play entire documentaries on live.
That part. He's
Oh,
an
so you're-
egotistical SOB, and you can see it in his face that all he wants is attention, which is why he got upset that no one applauded for him during that bullshit ass basketball game that he was a part of just recently. So
It seems
again,
a lot like you guys are really, really upset that certain content.
Okay.
Oh, shame.
To the chat. First of all, let me make sure, because I believe in educating people. In order for something to be a Gish Gallop, it's basically saying that you're presenting an excessive number of arguments. And Indignite actually didn't present an excessive number of arguments. He presented one argument with multiple examples. So it wouldn't qualify as Gish Galloping. 2, an ad hominem attack is where you attack the person, but you don't discuss their argument. If I insult you while still addressing your argument, it is not an ad hominem attack.
Yeah, it is. That portion of it is.
No, it is not. No,
Yes, it
no,
is.
it's not, because you have to not address the argument. He addressed the argument and then called you out your name.
Yeah, so he addressed the argument and then ad hominem me. I don't think you guys see.
That's not the definition of it. We just went over it twice, what the definition was, and you still didn't get it. Like, what needs to happen? Does it
So
need to hit you in the face like wind?
Hey,
What like
hold on,
what?
hold on a second. Miss, whatever your name is in the comments, Miss Chimster, you said you don't want a teaching lesson from me. You'd rather get it from Dean. Okay, well go over there to Dean, darling. Ain't nobody holding you hostage here. Good luck. Godspeed.
Imagine wanting to learn about racism from a racist white cishet white man over a black woman. That's crazy. And saying it out loud is crazier.
Like, baby, we not holding you here. Good luck, Godspeed.
wait, can we go back to Indignite's issue with Hassan? His big issue with Hassan that
Oh no no no
Hassan
no
makes
no
a
no no
living
no
off
no.
of
We're gonna
content.
take.
Miss
We're gonna take
Chimster,
a
if
vote.
you are black, like that's even worse in my opinion, because what are you learning from a white man? What is there to learn from a white man? That's crazy.
That's a crazy statement, host. You literally,
I
it's
stand
impossible
by
to
it. What is
ever
there to
learn
learn from a
anything.
white man?
It's impossible to ever learn anything from a white man. That's crazy. It's just
What
like
is
a
the topic he
crazy
talk?
statement.
He talks about people like issues of oppressed people all the
Do you know
time,
who
policies that are
invented
going
the
to affect
theory
them.
of gravity?
Can I finish my sentence, or are you
Yeah, sorry.
incapable?
Sorry, I thought you were done. I thought you were done talking. My bad.
Yeah. So he profits off of the oppression of other people. Like Paul is talking about those policies and those issues. What what am I as a Latina woman going to learn from a cishet white man about what I'm dealing with?
What do you mean? What are you going to learn? Well, obviously a lot.
What is there to learn from a white man?
Gravity, the theory of gravity.
White men didn't fucking like what the fuck?
E equals MC squared.
Alex, darling.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You do recognize that a lot of these things, like you believe the history books exactly as they written, don't you?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Actually, E equals MC squared was invented by an indigenous tribe. It was actually discovered by an indigenous tribe. There's like markings like 10,000 years ago.
Do you realize that like
No, I'm sorry. You're
Dean
right.
doesn't talk about that, bro? Like
No,
I
but
gave you an example of like what the situation is here, and
yeah, no,
you
your
talked about
claim.
something he doesn't talk about. I guarantee he doesn't know fuck shit about that. I probably know more about that because I was a science major. He didn't even finish college. Like you guys are learning from a college
Yeah, but
dropout.
he's.
Like
I'm
that's
not, dude. I
embarrassing.
don't. I hate Dean. What the hell? I don't even like Dean.
Then
He's pretty, but he's pretty educated in
why are
politics.
you glazing him then?
How is Dean educated in politics? He pays $200 for the ChatGPT subscription that you can get from DeepSeek for free. Okay, like I'm tired of giving these people, these boys, I'm gonna call them because that's exactly what they are. They're little boys. They're undergraduates. They're undergraduates. Hold on.
No. We're not gonna call them boys. They are adults. We are not gonna infantilize them. They are adults. Calling them boys gives them the cover of childhood. No, they don't get that. I'm sorry. That's one of them things for me.
I mean, he is pretty young now. Like he's like 18 or something.
He is not 18.
Well, he's like 19 then.
Besides the point, most of these individuals, or at least the young ones, are undergraduates. They have no degree in what they talk about. They're learning as they go along and then misinterpreting what they learn, making money off of that. That's called anti-intellectualism
Stealing
on top of
arguments
being
from
a
people of
grifter.
color.
That part. There's so many other things that could justify why you shouldn't want to seek any type of information from these individuals. They need to lay low and stop trying to act like they are the vanguard to a movement that they aren't a part of, like at all. like that's this is like Juan Guaido calling himself like the president of Argentina or something, like just a fake puppet government system that they've created that justifies their grifting. And it's what it is. It's uber amounts of grifting. And they got caught on this, Unfuck America tour or whatever this was. And it's been a slippery slope, and it's going to continue to be because they've showed their true colors. So
why?
Hold on. Let me clarify something. If my black child at 19, almost 20, has to be looked at as an adult, then we gonna look at them two 20-year-olds as adults. That's it, that's all.
Why is it that people who obviously share...
Hey, hold on. Now I'm gonna say this real quick. Choose your next words very carefully. Because if you say something,
I'm not talking about black people, if that's what you thought that I was gonna do.
No. And if you, because I'm gonna tell you, talking about Baby Ren, I will crash out.
I'm not gonna talk about Baby Ren.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, why are you guys so critical of people who are so obviously very closely aligned with your views politically? Like Hassan's probably the most far left.
That's an insult.
I can think of. Hassan's literally a Marxist. Aren't you guys Marxists?
Hassan is not a Marxist.
Hassan's pretty close to a Marxist.
Hassan is not a Marxist. Hassan cosplays as a leftist, and he's far from even that to begin with. I don't see eye to eye with Hassan. I don't see eye to eye with any of these individuals that you see behind the host because of what they have done and what they have propagated. It is not hard for me to stand firm with my principles and the morals that I've accumulated over time. And these individuals do not align. Just because Hassan talks about Palestine doesn't mean because I talk about Palestine that completely erases everything that Hassan has done. No, Hassan's still a piece of shit. Okay.
So you need someone to perfectly align with your views to...
No, it's not perfectly aligning. See, what you have a problem with is your inability to be able to understand my moral values. And that my moral values are holistic and they're not monolithic to a system, to a said group of people. They are holistic to me and to me only, and how I want to operate and how I'm supposed to operate within the community that I'm in. See, that's a holistic thought process. So I could be pro-Palestinian, I could be pro-Congolese, I could be pro-Sudanese. Hassan could be all of those things too as well. But at the end of the day, I don't align with what Hassan propagates. I don't believe that individuals like him need to be listed as a vanguard or even as a quote unquote Marxist because it distorts true Marxism to the core. I would rather people go. I mean, I hate that I even have to say this shit, but I would rather someone go and read Trotsky than to go and than to tell me that they've listened to Hassan and learned so much from him. Like I don't believe that you can learn anything from these people. I think that they're given a script, they're given a said group of things to say. I've actually a couple years ago found out that there's a whole entire Discord with these said individuals in it. It's called the cornbread Discord or something, and they all share their content with each other, and that's how it gets generated. So like that, like there's nuances to like even their like support for each other and making sure that like they all stay afloat even through like hard times and stuff like that. It's disgusting. Like I don't really understand how people can't comprehend that, you know, half of these faces came out of nowhere, like out of nowhere. And it's because they know people. You know, Hassan, you know, like he's just the bottom of the barrel, you know, in a sense. So
Well, I'd say like Nick Fuentes is probably a little bit worse, but like I just don't really understand why can't you see the positive?
I mean, at least you know. At least you see Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, at least you could. Right.
I can see it from far away, and I mean, I could spot it on Hassan too. But most people are not, as you can see in the chat. Everyone is kissing his ass. Like, but Nick Fuentes, it's obvious that dude's a repellent. I think it's worse when they pretend to be on your side. You let your guard down.
Yeah, but if behind the scenes they're all millionaires, right? It doesn't really matter if they're bringing more people to the cause. I think this is the issue with the left, actually, is because the amount of like podcasts and talk shows and stuff Trump went on and tried to connect with people and like get the word out and stuff versus I didn't see Kamala on like anything, I don't think. The left as a whole is too
Trump was
scared
running for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And not even
unemployed,
just
running for 4 years.
And what did you just say? You said you don't think. So that shows you didn't seek out the information, which means you have no actual idea what she went on.
Yeah, the American public is not exactly seeking out information about politics.
Right, because
if
they
you want to
want
win an
some
election,
flat run.
if you want to win an election, you have to appeal to your voters. You don't have to blame your voters that they're not looking for information about you.
You're not their voter, though. You're not on the left.
What? Yes, I am.
Yeah, right.
You said you weren't. You said you don't support any of these people.
What do you mean I don't support any of these people? I don't support Hassan, is what I said, and Dean.
No, you said you don't even support any of those people.
Oh, I love Ethan. I love Destiny. I like those two.
Oh.
Oof.
I also don't mind.
How do you feel about revenge porn?
What about the Ethan thing? Or Destiny? Destiny did that. Oh, that wasn't proven, but like I didn't like it.
So the fact that it's something that is literally being adjudicated.
Yeah, when it is, I'll make a decision on it.
So you heard that, y'all. It's only real if they get a guilty verdict.
Oh, Alina, you posted my revenge corn.
Hey,
okay.
Guess what?
Okay, so are you evil? Are you dangerous?
Here's the difference in that. We know that you two don't know each other, and you have no relationship outside of here.
How do you know that?
Because I'm actually her friend in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe we knew each other on the side. I'm not gonna.
And I've been married for 6 years. So like, when did we date?
I'll be more cautious with people who have allegations against them, but I'm not gonna hold Destiny to like canceling. I don't really believe in cancel culture.
Okay. Cancel culture doesn't exist.
What do you mean? It did for like a few years.
No, it does not.
Yes,
it does not exist. And I'm yelling that I am raising my voice because I need people to understand that cancel culture does not exist.
Well, it doesn't anymore, but it definitely did.
It's never existed because by saying it doesn't anymore means that it went away. So it was not a true cancellation.
In the early 20s? Is that the right way to say it? In the early 20s. Okay, I can't think. Okay, come on. People got canceled like late.
No, I need you to tell me who's been canceled.
Like not permanently, but there were a lot of people.
Then it's not canceled, dummy. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, I can look. Give me a second.
Thanks.
ChatGPT lookup coming for you right now.
Cancel culture started with Obama.
Who's been canceled?
Louis C.K. got canceled hard.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Louis C.K. was a dirty, nasty comedian. You got to come up with something better than that to try and say that cancel culture started because Louis C.K. got exposed for being a disgusting pervert.
Okay? Louis C.K. started his fame like that. How did he get canceled when he just actually...
J-Rez, what the fuck are you doing here?
Why is there the Avengers? Oh my goodness.
J-Rez, you know that you're perma-banned from here. You can't be here. Nice try, though. And yeah, he still has a career. He's still selling shit on his website.
Netflix
he's still selling posters and all that stuff.
Like,
yeah. He's not canceled.
He was canceled. They got rid of his cancel culture.
Alex.
Sorry, but this is not the end game.
How can you be canceled if you're still selling things?
Because Travis Scott got canceled for like a year after Astroworld.
No, he did not.
Yes,
no,
he did.
He is the hardcore champion in WWE, which is $1 billion company owned by another $1 trillion company. He is not fucking canceled. He got caught for putting fucking pyrotechnics and globes and strobes and shit in his fucking Astrofest, which killed multiple people, and then continued the concert after finding out that the people were fucking killed. Yes. This is all. Yes. I could tell you're a Travis Scott fan, and you're gonna ride that. You know what? All the way to the fucking grave. But yeah, You're gonna have to come up with something better. Travis Scott was canceled. He's a
That's how
hardcore
you
fucking
prove.
champion of $1 billion company. Come on now.
That's how you prove that he wasn't canceled because you still ride for him.
Did you just say that Travis Scott put pyrotechnics in globes and
He didn't hear.
shot
He
them
didn't
at
hear
his
anything you
fans?
said after that. That's crazy.
Wait. He's
Like,
saying that
okay, and you
people
know what?
died because it was
I agree.
overcrowded.
Somebody just said, Nerdy by 920 just said, the closest thing to canceled is maybe Kevin Spacey. But again, it's because Kevin Spacey was a true POS.
And
He
how
was
long
a,
did he? How long was he allowed
yeah,
to do that before? Decades.
exactly. And two of the people who accused him are no longer here. So that doesn't really, that
What about
doesn't
There's
really
people still. There's people still supporting
still
Diddy.
alive. Yes,
Diddy's not
that
even
part.
canceled.
That part.
Okay,
That
Diddy's
part.
Diddy's
You
canceled and
can't
he deserves.
No,
you
he's not.
can't
There's
use
supporters of Diddy.
yes,
Go to
exactly.
Reddit. There's tons.
And
Okay, well
honestly,
then,
one of his supporters got kicked out of the courtroom.
I just can't
What was
believe
that
you said that
yesterday?
Travis Scott intentionally murdered his fans.
No. That's not. See,
That's
here's
not
the
what I
problem.
said. See,
That's
that's not
not
what I
what was
said.
Do you
said.
know how
That's
those
not what I
fans
said.
survived?
I said that he used pyrotechnics and used strobes, not globes, used strobe lights and an excessive amount of strobe lights that were not regulated, okay, meaning that they were illegal. There was too much of it. See, in order for you to really properly understand, you have to do what I do. And I do it for a living. I'm a journalist, okay? So I cover certain aspects of society, whatever I give a fuck about, whether it's sports, whether right now it's investigative journalism, so I'm deeply involved in the atrocities, happening in Turtle Island. But nonetheless, I did
Oh, so
my
you're like
research.
Hassan.
There is, no, I'm not like Hassan. So let's not get it twisted. Hassan couldn't he couldn't hold my fucking bootstrap. Um,
Hassan probably
Nonetheless,
steals your work though.
that's that part too. So he's not a journalist. He's a streamer who classifies himself as a journalist and whatnot.
Oh,
Um, there are specific laws and regulations that you're supposed to follow, municipal orders and that are in place in certain cities, noise ordinances and stuff, where they have certain arenas, certain lights that are supposed to be used. This was an outdoor event. So there's only a certain amount of pyrotechnics that they're allowed to use and only a certain amount of lights that they're allowed to use. He went above and beyond to treat his fans the way that he did, which inevitably made it far more dangerous than any other concert that has ever happened in the last fucking 2 decades because of the amount of strobe lights. Because there was so many, and like how you said, you
Robe
proved my point.
lights?
You strobe lights.
It wasn't.
Have you ever? Yes, there was. Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
So
I'm
someone
not gonna
died from
argue.
like
I'm not
epilepsy.
gonna. Yes, multiple people died from
I'm not
literally
even gonna
heat
make it
exhaustion.
fancy.
Yeah.
WDG.
I was waiting too because I was like, I didn't want to do a joke at this point.
DG sent the baby dragon. It's a baby dragon or 30 to kick. For those of you guys crying in the chat, my daily goal goes towards foster kittens. I foster kittens and Red Bull and maybe sometimes Carvel if I'm having a down day, but it's mostly foster kittens.
Did you get your Carvel yesterday?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay, and I gotta send you something. I forgot to send it to you.
I actually what I'll do is I'll send you because I owe you 30 from Grug, so I'll just send you the 5 and then we're
even. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. W chum for the ice cream cake. I made the mistake of telling my husband that it was there.
Yeah, he ate it all.
Not all. He ate a good amount. Because he likes to drink. He doesn't drink alcohol, but he's discovered those like CBD, THC like drinks, the ones that are like sold at Total Wine that are like legal.
He had the munchies.
When we first started dating and he used to like smoke a lot, bro, I used to have to fucking hide shit because like he would crush an entire box of Pop Tarts. I would wake up and he would be passed out on the couch with like wrappers of Pop Tarts and then like with a cup of milk, half drink milk in his hand, just like holding it over the edge of the couch. Just
That's hilarious.
he used to blow through groceries. It was crazy. And my first time living with a man, it was like, Holy shit! I'm going through so many groceries.
Yep.
Hey,
Dash.
y'all. Yeah, my name is Dash.
Dash. Okay.
So I'm coming at this genuinely just curious, and like looking for some answers, just your take. I understand a lot of the complaints and allegations that are made against the people who are pictured here. And I'm just curious, it's hard for me to kind of think about a clear way forward for the left to, win against what seems like this rise of an authoritarian left or authoritarian right. Like some level of coalescence is needed in order for us to hopefully win in the midterms, win in the next election. And I genuinely don't see how that can happen. If
Okay. Well,
are,
yeah, I get what you're saying. And I think the way that you worded it highlighted something for me. It's the focus on winning
okay.
instead of deconstructing. So like just the focus on winning is so short-sighted, and we're seeing that because we won in 2020, but those same people, a lot of them didn't vote for Kamala. And it's because those same people were still racist and misogynist. They were fine voting for a white man that was also doing atrocities, allowing for atrocities in Palestine. But then when it came to a black woman, it was an issue.
It was a bridge too far.
So I personally think the way we focus is stop centering people like this, uplift voices like Rand or Indignite, like people that are from these marginalized communities, uplift them and have them be the faces.
I mean, I totally agree with that. We definitely should be uplifting those voices, especially
Which
people
none
like
of these people do. So you could also try to find, which is rare, find people with this big of a platform that would uplift others and not just profit off them. And when I say profit, I mean like just having a marginalized person on your live so you can get the gifts and you can profit off of them, their knowledge. That's not enough for me. They should be going into their lives, sitting quietly in the guest box just to bring their followers over.
Okay.
This is my opinion.
So, as far as the winning aspect, that's just like, the hope that the Democrats can retake some control so that the right can't just flagrantly legislate against people, against marginalized communities, against poor people, against, all the things that we're seeing currently. Like, I don't think any of us would disagree that Kamala would have been a much better fate for our country if she had won the election. But how do we get to the point where we can win general elections if we don't have talking heads who are rallying for her cause?
But that's the problem. See, here's the issue with what you're saying.
Okay.
So let's say we go ahead and we just decide that racism and misogyny and sexism and ableism and all of these things aren't deal breakers, right? SA is not a deal breaker. Let's say we say that so we can get votes. And then the people that get in there are racist, misogynistic, sexist, ableist SAers. How does that benefit me?
It definitely doesn't.
So the fact is, how are we going to, we can disagree on the best way to implement medical for healthcare for all, right? We can disagree on how to do it, not if we should do it, but how to do it. We can disagree on the best way to do different things policy wise. We can't disagree on the fact that I'm Black and I'm a woman and I'm disabled and I deserve to exist. We can't disagree on that.
Totally agree with that.
So there has to be some hard lines in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Because not drawing those hard lines in the sand are how we got Trump. Do you not get that?
Oh,
a lot
totally.
of the reason we got Trump is because a lot of racist people were mad that Obama won.
Mm-hmm. So, just curious, what would you say though about, Kamala was vice president during Biden's presidency, where a lot of atrocities were funded and supported, and so understandably, a lot of people did not want to support Kamala in the general election. Would
If
you
you are
agree
talking
with
about
that?
Palestine, if you are talking about Palestine, here's the reality. I need everybody to understand that what happened and what is currently happening to the Palestinian people didn't start on October 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been Republican and Democrat leaders who are responsible for the things that have happened. It has not just been one party. It is the United States imperial core that is the problem.
Totally. I agree.
So the fact that people want to sit here and act like Kamala Harris didn't very clearly say that she wanted a two-state solution, and they said, nah, it's just the same. Okay, what you thinking now? I'm not saying that I believe that Palestinian people should not have voted however they wanted to. I am never going to be the person that tells somebody what to do when somebody got a boot on their neck. That ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of people with privilege who decided to live on their high horse, not recognizing not recognizing how many people are going to get trampled underneath that horse's hooves.
Mm-hmm.
All that to have voted for her anyways, which was crazy.
Mm. And if I could, I'd like to bring, not that there is anything that was left or wasn't picked up or anything like that, but just a different perspective to the same conversation and kind of answering the questions that have been, given. And I just want to say, one, thank you for respectfully not coming here and like, playing in our faces and acting like you knew, more than us. It's just, if it just seems more respectful than I feel the last three people that were up here. um I'm indigenous, and that might, be a very, blurred term for a lot of people that are watching or listening. So I'll just, from a simplest form, indigenous means indigenous populations that are from the areas for which that you live in. And so if someone says that they're Seminole Native or they're Seminole Indigenous, they're from Florida. If they say that they are Plains Native, that relatively is like the middle parts of what is now known as America with three Ks. If they say they're like me, like Ohlone, or they Bay Area native, which can consist of like, Bay Miwok, coastal Miwok, and a multitude of others. Just know that that's like that area, but nonetheless indigenous. Um, you know, what I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm only 28 years old, so I've seen for as early as like 8 years, 8 years old. That's when I kind of can like remember like what a president was like, what it stuff like that, like or at least kind of a well-rounded thought. So well over 2 decades of knowing how this system has operated against and so-called for the people. Now we've seen over time that saying of the land of the free, the home of the brave, slowly be dwindled. And it was dwindled not just 40 years ago, not just 50 years ago, but in 1492 when they decided to take indigenous lands from indigenous people, subjugate them to reservations, subjugate them to ethnic cleansing, the same way that we see going on in Palestine. Now, I'll be short. Um, what we see now is we are seeing a class collaborated effort that was then done back in 1492, that was done back in the counter revolution of 1776, because that's exactly what it was. It was a counter revolution that seen an entity of people that so arrogantly decided to say that they weren't free, but yet had been enslaving people for hundreds of years to justify the colonies that we now know as Boston, Virginia, Georgia, and all of that. And Georgia being the first buffer state that was an all-white state created to make sure that there was again a buffer between the rest of the colonies and Florida, which at that time was owned by Spain, that was freeing slaves in order for them to join the Spanish army so that they can take over the Louisiana Purchase. All of this, to get to where we're at now, and how indigenous people have through civil war, through segregation, Jim Crow, all of our history has been kind of silenced, and we've been put on the placards and been made to like we don't no longer exist. We have our own government systems that in some cases some of them work pretty well outside of the capitalist system. But where we're at right now is that there are indigenous populations like myself that have been asking, pleading for people who tune in regularly to doesn't even to any of those individuals behind the host that have advocated for them to go out in there and vote, to vote for these said people. There have been indigenous congressmen, indigenous representatives, indigenous mayors that have in this last election that were not given the proper exposure, but we're constantly being told from these individuals behind the host that we need to vote for either the red or the blue. We need to vote for, in some cases, too, the green, when we have 4 decades of them showing that they're not really who they say they are, and they receive money from the same people that they argue against. So it's kind of ass backwardness, that Kwame Ture talked about. um, Indigenous people have been asking for us not to be platformed like we're some, glass sculpture for everybody to look at. We're just asking for, you keep asking or saying, well, what is to do? What can we do? We're running out of options. I don't think we are. I think you're running out of the options that you're comfortable with going through, which you're comfortable with, versus indigenous people have been pleading for you to say, hey, there are alternatives. There's 1,500 sovereign indigenous nations that were here before they decided to call this America with 3Ks, that have been asking for you to say, hey, acknowledge us, and then we can work on, from a domestic level, how we can make this international. We're seeing it happen in Canada right now in First Nations, where we're seeing Trump, who, through the process of people that have came up here and saying, hey, just go to your favorite podcaster because they're going to have, you're the politician on there for you to vote for, and that's how you win elections. That's not how elections are won. $218 million was given to by Elon Musk to help win Trump the election. So it doesn't matter. And even then, so let's also question, okay, being that it is FIC versus Citizens United, that billionaires get to spend whatever the hell they want, corporations, whatever the hell they want on elections. So did the Democrats really lose the election, or did they just give it to the Republicans because it best suited the duopoly of fascism? See, I see it from a different perspective. Is that both sides are unrepairable, and that's been like that since its existence. We have multitudes of tribes, nations, government systems that are completely ignored here in what is called America, that could need the help. They could need the resources. They're building cop cities, okay, and by the dozens. Uh, while we're not looking at the fact that there are reservations that should be classified as concentration camps, as open air prisons here in the occupied areas of Turtle Island, that need our help. They need help with water. They need help with food. They need help with, some reservations, believe it or not, have no paved sidewalks, street lights, they run on wells, they run on their food deserts, meaning that
Yeah,
they
they
don't
have no
have a
access to
market.
fresh food. Yeah.
Yes, they they,
We
they
work
have,
in the past I worked very closely with the Miccosukee tribe down here.
That's great. And I advise everybody to get involved in your local area with indigenous people, because you're going to really start to understand that there are other options that are out there. and you're gonna really start to, and unfortunately, as cheesy and cliche as these assholes behind the host have, made it sound, but you're gonna decolonize, your mind and how you perceive certain people and how you go about it. And I hope that one, that I answered a little bit of the questions, gave you a little bit of background. You can find more like of these marginalized voices that I talk about and speaking to people internationally on the Tin Media Network, which is a network that I founded. It's currently in a hiatus right now because we are like shit out of luck with funding, just because of the demonetization and everything. But you guys can go over there and check it out. It's free content, so like it's donation based. So like if you want to help out, you can help out. Go over there.
How much do you
But
need in funding to like fund for like a
to keep
month, a
every
year? Like, yeah.
to keep everything afloat monthly, it costs about $2,000 for the production. We have some people that are in Costa Rica that are
Mhm.
indigenous comrades of mine. My friend Janae is in St. Louis working with the Uhuru movement. If you guys know anything about the All Africans People's Socialist Party, where Chairman O'Malley Ishatella, these individuals have like been talking about what I've been talking about long
Mhm.
before I was even alive or even my parents were alive. And I've sat down with these individuals and had conversations. The international part of it is like my favorite part because unfortunately, I've had comrades that lost their lives because of what happened in Palestine. But I'm gracious enough to know that through those friendships, I was able to make friendships and camaraderie with people in Lebanon as well. So Free Palestine TV is a great news source if you're trying to figure out what's going on in Palestine and Lebanon. And I've spoken to the founder of it, Laith Maruth. He's been he's been a journalist as long as I've been alive. And so to sit down with someone like him and talk, decolonial, analysis of the situation. These are all free conversations that you can check over there, and giving you guys like the last, I think, 10 videos that I did were just analysis on like what we go through every single day, but also international as well. So yeah, it takes a lot, and indigenous people suffer to try and the most to try and make sure that the truth gets out there. MSNBC is not going to tell you this shit.
Do you
CNN
host
won't.
your own lives?
On here, no, I don't at the moment. But I should.
I shot you a follow. When you do start hosting your own lives, which I highly recommend, I'm happy to come and just sit quietly on the panel just to bring my followers in.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
but there's opportunity, I think, if you start hosting your own lives to uh, m- just with subscriptions to be able to make a good amount of those operating costs. So I think it's time consuming, of course, but it's just a matter of just starting doing it. And I know the goon community, which is like what my subs are called, the goons. I know that we would definitely support in any way possible. Like my daily goal goes to fostering kittens, but you could have a daily goal that is essentially, trying to crowdfund to get to the point where you guys can start up again.
Yeah, and see me being, I'm like the editor, I'm the producer, I come up with the rundowns and everything. So the hiatus for me from the network on YouTube is to kind of help build the TikTok a little bit more and
Mhm.
focus on, more of this style of content. And so yeah, everybody has told me that I've interacted with it. I do need to get on TikTok, and I
Mhm.
have a lot of short form content that I could probably be posting, but I'm
Mhm.
lazy. You guys, taking and doing all this is very hard,
It's a
especially
lot of
when you're a
work.
journalist. Yeah, on top of being a broadcast analyst or journalist, I'm also a writer as well. Like I write out pieces, political thought pieces, and so it's just trying to find time, and I think now I have the time to be on here. So yeah, thank you to everybody that said that they'll follow, and I will be doing lives. And
You can
uh
also, once you're able to go live, I think on YouTube, I think you need, well, you already have that access, right, to go live on YouTube, because what you could do is
yeah.
you could essentially go live here and use OBS to cross stream to YouTube and Twitch so that you're still maybe making content on those areas and getting monetization that way.
Yeah, I'm new to OBS. I was using StreamYard for a while, which is, kind of, it's like the baby to OBS.
I mean,
But
I think you could probably use I know not everyone uses OBS. I think people there's a few other ones that you can use.
StreamYard would work.
they have an option for TikTok. I just don't have a desktop. Like, they don't offer the desktop the Mac option for lives yet, like to be cross compatible with StreamYard. But the desktop, I'm currently working on that right now. That's my biggest thing, um, as of now. But yeah, like march
Yeah.
up upholding marginalized voices and making sure that, like, they're the ones that are being able to tell their stories, because, it for you to hear about black struggle from a white face, unfortunately, as much as, like, I love that people are, like, talking about the struggles, but you shouldn't be the one being platformed as the only person or a person that should be an expert at these things, when, that's just not the case. And, you know, Hassan only started talking about Palestine until after October 7th. And that's a fact. I can go all the way back, to really show you guys that he's not who he says he is when in regards to that. I've lost over 18 people in Palestine, that have been friends, that have been individuals that I've known just from online that are no longer here, and to know that, like, he's made money off of, lives that are no longer able to speak for themselves is disgusting. Um, and so, yeah, lift indigenous voices, do not overcrowd them and take their space. That's the biggest thing.
Well, I mean, I've greatly appreciated getting to know you here. I'm looking forward to you going live. I do want to say thank you so much, DG, for sending 25. Appreciate you so much. And that's why I did promise that I'd bring out the big pickle when we hit halfway to our goal.
So cute.
We got pickle, y'all.
That's a cute little
It's one of
cat.
my bottle babies. She's with the shelter, so she's kind of more complicated to adopt. But I'm probably going to wrap it up because we're going to go raid Sensitive Artichoke. And Ren, are you going live after?
I am, but it'll probably be more along 9 Central, only because I want to support Erica G and Kiana.
Oh, they're going live too?
They're going live at 8 Central. They're doing a live, it's a community conversation about raising Black children. So you are welcome to come in and support. But if you don't
If
know,
I see any of the white goons acting up in the comments, I don't want to see you guys in the comments at all, unless it's to tap the screen.
Yeah. So, but then after that, I'll probably be going live just because it'll be a short live, y'all. Just because my eyes already is I'm about to actually close them for a little while. But it'll be a short live. But again, I'm gonna tell all the people that are in here, if you come to my live, we do not do bullshit in my live. It is a peaceful space. We do not debate. We read Reddit stories. If you
we do a lot of bullshit. It's just not bullshit on people you know.
Oh yeah, we talk mad shit about the people, the Reddit folks, but we are not, it's not a political space, because peace and joy and resistance and rest are also resistance to this situation. So I need y'all to understand that if you come in my space, it is not going to be all rah. It's going to be chill.
Ren is multifaceted, y'all.
And if you can't deal with that, you will be escorted out stage left. Thanks.
Dash, I don't know if we answered your question. You're welcome to come back another day for the conversation. You got here kind of late. I do want to wrap it up and make sure everyone's following Ren for sure for later. We very much appreciate you. If you are interested in helping support my fostering, because I do pour a lot of my own resources into fostering, aside from, I probably spend, depending on how many fosters I have, I probably spend a good 4 to 6 to 8 hours a day caring for them throughout my day. I have pay links in my bio, and I also have a foster kitten wish list that has like cat food and dry food, wet food. We're pretty much stocked on everything else, but my biggest need right now is gloves and the IAMS wet food, which is what this one's eating. So, and Ren also has pay links in her bio for when she goes live. Indignant, I don't know if you do, and Iskander, I don't know if you collect any money for anything.
I don't. I
Yeah,
just raise funds.
I have pay links in my description, but I'd like for it to go to the kittens. If you guys can, as much as I do need the aid, those precious
We can
lives are.
do both. We can always do both. But
Yeah.
I'm serious. I don't know, like, you don't feel pressured to follow me back, but please, when you do start to go live, share it to me, and I'm happy to share it to my community. Because the kind of stuff you talk about is spot on, what we like to learn about, and it's not something that I can necessarily host lives on. Like, I don't even like hosting lives on Palestine, even though I've been talking about free Palestine since way before October 7th. Like, I literally got doxxed on this app by Zionists like years before October 7th. Like,
I had some guy find me online. It was this old man who lived in my city, and he started following me around the grocery store and whatnot. And so yeah, the Zios on this app are bonkers. But I've grown to utilize that as satire towards them, so it works in my favor. But no, I completely understand. And thank you again for allowing me to come up on your space, and be able to speak about these people, because I am a victim of them. They directly affect my ability to be able to survive because of the space that they take up, and the amount of misinformation that I have to then debunk in order for people to really understand what the true narratives are. Ruptured Ren, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be up here with you guys. I for the most part enjoyed every bit of this, minus the guys that came up here. But yeah, it was such a joy speaking to you guys. Islander, I didn't hear you speak, but it was a joy to be up here with you. And so yeah, I just wanted to get my little last goodbyes out there before you end the live. And it again means a lot. In support Indigenous voices. Cash links are for all of us, I guess, in our bios, so you can help out that way. Means a lot. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
just,
any last words, Iskander? Make it short, because I know you like to chat.
yeah. Well, I was quiet that whole time. I didn't say anything.
I
Like
know.
Indignite
I'm
just
so
said.
proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Indignite even said he didn't hear me speak. But no, I was just going to say, yeah, completely agree with everything that he was saying. And there's, I guess, one thing I'll say to keep it short. We definitely have got to stand for collective liberation. We can't forget about Sudan. We can't forget about the Congo. We can't forget about Myanmar. Right? The point is that,
Haiti.
like I was saying, yeah, Haiti is another one. And we can go, and again, I'm trying to keep it brief, but I agree. But yeah, that's the point. That's the message that I think sometimes gets lost in certain spaces. And so we can't let that get lost, right? None of us are free until all of us are free.
That's a perfect place to end. We're going to go raid Sensitive Artichoke, who's a goon. They're probably running the topic of gender